Good morning, everybody. It is 7 a.m. on Tuesday, November 9th. Today in Baton Rouge, expect to see cloudy skies with a high of 72. Coming up on OTB, Matt Flynn joins the show in studio at 8 a.m. for a full hour of flestering. There we go. You can follow today's show on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at OTB_ESPN, or catch us on YouTube at the 1045 ESPN channel and subscribe for daily content. Hour number 1 of Off the Bench, live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studio, starts now.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Hey, Peter said I got to come off the bench.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Yo.
Yo, what up, y'all? Welcome back, OTB. What's happening? Hope you're having a great day. November 9th, 2022. T-Bob, Jake, Mario, and Danny hanging out with you today. And we have, I was going to say, in many ways, this first hour will be an official turning of the page to the Arkansas week. But then we're going to have Matt Flynn in, and I'm sure he's going to have to do some reliving of the past before we fully turn the flustering page, as we like to have a good time in that flustering hour, but we also now like to look at a couple plays and kind of get Matt's opinion on what he saw on Saturday. Remember, Matt was the one a couple of weeks ago that had a quote where we were discussing Jaden Daniels, and this was during the bye week, right? And he was talking about how kind of shocking it is that when you looked up to like the Auburn game and even the Tennessee game, in which numbers are better, but what you were really seeing was, frankly, it was bad quarterback play. Now, there were plays being made, like playmaker plays being made around the edges that were making things not like awful overall, but the actual quarterback play itself was bad. And then Matt last week said, what's wild is against Florida and Ole Miss, it wasn't just that it was good. Like all of a sudden you were talking about objectively great quarterback play. And Jake, he was the first one that uttered that if Jaden Daniels were to come back next year, that, you're talking about with that level of play, you're talking about like competing for championships. Now, his timeline potentially just may have been off by a year because Jaden Daniels continued to play so well that quite literally now LSU is competing for a championship, for an SEC West championship, and then an SEC championship.
Yeah, Matt. Are you even a two-loss national champion?
Yeah.
You have little faith. Do you not know that this can happen with chaos? And, Matt was right.
The point of that, I was saying Flynn was right. I made it a little confusing at the end there. What I'm saying is he told you that this was objectively great quarterback play, that it was sustainable, and that with this level of play, you could be a championship caliber team, and lo and behold, look what came to pass.
Yeah, he's giving you every opportunity to win every play, not just win the game. Right, and that's what great quarterbacks do. And you go back and you watch the tape, and TU did yesterday, and Flynn was at the game, so we actually don't have to come in here and show him all the plays. He saw all of the plays that Jaden was able to make in the game, and you watch it back, and it's maybe even more impressive what he's able to do. I talked about the high step yesterday that he has, that he gets out of the rush, but he also continues to look downfield, continues to look for whatever play can be made. It's just not, take off and run. Like, he's getting out of the rush, and then he's looking downfield, and then if it calls for it, he's running. So that's real development from what we saw early in the season. And it wasn't bad football play because he was making plays.
Yep.
But we're talking about quarterback play. And after that Tennessee game
exactly.
that we showed where there was a couple of plays that could have been made, like, he quickly changed the narrative of his season, and now he's the reason – one of the many reasons, but the main reason you're winning football games.
Well, and the insane part is, like we said, even when the quarterback play was bad, the playmaking was still good. And obviously now the quarterback play has been great, and it's allowed the playmaking to ascend to an even higher level because now you're truly having to respect the full width and breadth of Jaden Daniels and what he's bringing to bear.
Hey, Danny, I'm not talking anymore.
That was great. I just kept watching Jake look at the camera uncomfortably, I guess we're just gonna stay on me.
Well, I was gonna try to see if how long Danny was gonna be looking down while the camera was on.
Chill out, he's working, dude.
Dude, I got so much work. I go to bed till 1 a.m.
You know who else has some work to finish up this weekend? The Tigers, okay? Because check it out. You win this Saturday, and Alabama beats Ole Miss, and somehow you are SEC West champions. But more importantly than anything as trivial as winning your half of the conference, you win access to the most glorious trophy in all of sports, the Golden Boot of Arkansas, LSU, a beautiful, dangerously serrated behemoth of a trophy. One of the heaviest trophies in all of college football.
It's got to be the
Actually,
heaviest.
I don't know, bro. Actually, I think you know who may randomly have that. I might be making this up.
So a Big Ten team.
No, Chief Cotto from is it Northwestern State
Oh.
and is it Stephen? No, who is it?
I should know that.
It's Northwestern State and somebody else, but they play for a giant, solid wood Native
I don't know, the
American
boot,
chieftain,
I mean-
and it's a heavy boy. Anyway, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. The point is, the Golden Boot's one of my favorite trophies in all of college football. You play for it this Saturday. And what's funny, Jake, is during the press conference and everything, there's been a lot of talk like Joe Fouché and Greg Brooks. If you go back and you look at last year's game, when that clock hits 0, there's a player who sprints over to the Golden Boot at full speed and swan dives like belly style on the ground, like slides up to it. That's Joe Fouché.
Yeah.
So that man captured the Golden Boot for Arkansas. He now returns home as a conquering hero. He's LSU's highest graded defensive player in the Alabama win. And now he goes back to his former teammates, the place that he once helped attain the greatest trophy in college football. And now he will try to bring it back for some new boot goofing with his new boys. Let's go, dude.
Chief Cato.
Yeah, that's what he said, Chief Cato. Did I say Cato?
I think you did.
Oh, I mean, yeah, I mean.
Chief Cato.
Tomato, tomato.
No, I'm from Cato Parish.
Oh,
Chief Cato and Northwestern State and Stephen F. Austin.
Okay, see, I had that right. So, you know,
The world's
SMD.
largest sports trophy, standing at 6'7" and weighing over 320 pounds.
Told you, bro. Let's go. Fork him. Who has Chief Cotto right now?
Cato. Probably Stephen F.
was
Austin,
trying
if I
to-
was to guess.
Trigger you. I don't know. I saw the other day Northwestern's like undefeated
Well,
some
not,
this
I'm
year.
talking about from last year.
Oh, okay. Yeah, maybe so. Either way, Golden Boot. Here's the only thing I want to say on this game on the jump.
But
Jake.
real quick,
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
the Joe Fouché, it's
Yeah.
it's a great reminder that you throw out there, and I think it tells you how much it meant for him to beat LSU because he probably wanted to play for LSU coming out of high school. Like, so that game
Fair.
for him was like a revenge factor. Like, okay, y'all didn't recruit me. I'm gonna go get that trophy because we just beat y'all. Well, now with the new staff who wanted him at LSU, they realized the value he could bring to LSU. Like, now, obviously, he's all in for LSU, and so like, don't take that as a slight. That's me taking it like he wanted to play at LSU, wasn't given the opportunity to play at LSU. So Greg Brooks, Joe Fouché, those guys, they're going to be locked in like we talked about yesterday.
Well, and then there's also going to be a couple guys that you're going to be playing that were here, right? I mean, Dwight McLaughlin being at the top of the list, a former starter for LSU. I should have said Takedo Takado, but can't go back in time, can we? Here's the only thing I want to say, Jake, is that I'm getting, so whenever I'm like talking to anybody about this, I'm getting a lot of, again, and we talked about this, we touched on this a couple days ago, I'm getting a lot of fear-based questions, right? Are you worried about being cold? Are you worried about it being at 11 a.m.? And like, make no mistake, these are elements that are somewhat unique to playing Arkansas, right? Like, it tends to be the coldest game because of the time of year and the geography. Like, it tends to be the coldest game that LSU players will ever play. Unless they, I don't know. Where would you play? I mean, maybe in the future, an expanded playoff, if you have like a first-round game, like a Big Ten or something.
If you go to Como, maybe.
There
somehow
you go.
late in the year if the schedule changes.
So the point is, yes, this tends to be the coldest game you will play. So, yeah, it is an outlier in that regard. Now, Brian Kelly did talk on Monday about how this team trained outdoors, only outdoors, in January, March, and February last year to kind of start to build up some idea of what it's like to work in 40 and 50-degree weather. And the other thing's like, oh, it's at 11 a.m. But my point is, like, none of that matters.
You'd rather-
Are they elements in the narrative? Absolutely. Are they some slight challenges to go overcome? Absolutely. But you are the better team. What these things are not are any excuses for losing or any reason to be fearful. Again, do not approach this game fearfully. Approach it confidently. What has this team done to lead you to being fearful when you start to get excited and think about Saturday?
I mean, the elements is never like something I like talking about because, it's cold for both teams, and I know
Yes,
that
dude,
they've been in it, but I mean,
The
it is cold for both teams. No one, like I played in Denver, like it was cold every day. I don't get used to it. It was still cold for me when it was snowing out there. So
Trey White mic'd up in Buffalo is still one of the best, just one of the best NFL films.
I mean, look,
mic'd
I
up
guarantee
sessions.
if we had Shaq on the show, Trey White, that's his nickname, not Shaquille O'Neal, he would say the same things like, dude, I ain't used to it. It's still cold out there.
Yeah.
But, hey, it is at 11 a.m. At least the sun's going to be out.
Yeah, that's true, right?
Gets
If
colder
it's
at night.
Yeah, that's a very fair point.
Would you rather be the home team or the away team, like in a
at 11 a.m.?
situation when it's 11 a.m.?
That's actually a good point. I see what you're saying because you lose a lot of juice if you're the home team. It's just hard unless you're like from like Big Ten country where they're literally that's the rhythm that they're.
I make
used
fun
to.
of Bobby all the time. Big noon kickoff. I'm like, who's it playing noon?
Hey, look, dude. I get it. Big noon kickoff is not as tight as primetime football. It's not as tight as 2:30 CBS. But
I'm not even talking about like the show and.
I was going to say. Okay, I was talking about the show.
Oh no.
They've done a good job. With
Oh,
that
actually,
show.
like
they've created something out of
A
nothing.
lot of those guys are my dudes. Like
Yeah.
they do a great job. I'm talking about kicking the ball off.
Yeah.
At noon Eastern.
It's weird. I mean,
Every single week.
like that Tennessee game. Trying to get out to campus to like see a couple people. It was brutal. It felt like you had no time. Like you wake up and you're meeting like we got to go. No,
Yeah.
I need a little time to kind of get the engine revved up, get a little coffee, have a little fun. So no, to your point, if you're the away team, that's fine. The crowd's going to be against you anyway. It's easier as a player to just get up and lock in. You're used to the schedule and everything. So yeah, that's actually a very good point, Jake, that I never really considered. It could be argued that that's almost advantage LSU, if anything. I think the idea is that maybe people feel like the favorites sleep early on. But one thing about this team, and one thing that Brian Kelly is very clear about in the press conference on Monday, is that this is a team, Jake, that remains addicted to the process, right? They didn't engage in anything extra for Alabama. They approached Alabama the same way they approached Ole Miss, same way they approached Florida, same way they approached Tennessee, Auburn, all these other games, right? And so within that consistency, you fight against this idea of complacency or not showing up ready or finding or thinking you've arrived, right? If you keep doing the things that got you there, and I do believe that this team has the ability to do that. Now, I do think there is sometimes a tendency as a player to, if you know it's a lesser team, maybe you aren't as stressed and maybe you're like the temptation is to maybe do a little less, and that's where the leadership of this team is going to have to come in. But I like the leadership of this team, so I'm not worried about it. You just go in the game. I don't care anything.
So someone in the chat, I think, was asking me about like how is it maybe somewhat of an advantage to be the away team. I can just tell you, if I don't even want to say it's an advantage maybe for that team over the home team, but when you're the away team and you have a primetime matchup, you're sitting around a random hotel all day long.
So annoying.
And because you're on the road and not at home, coaches are worried about what are you doing. So they start to call extra walkthroughs.
Yeah.
They start to call extra film. They start to chase ghosts all day long. And you're just sitting there, meeting, go back, meeting, go back.
You got to manage energy.
It's
like not getting too high. It's,
that might sound dumb, but that's just the way it is. Like if you're the home team, the coach is a little bit more lenient. You know the hotel. You know what you're doing. You can be a little bit more free. They don't have the extra meeting, and they go home to their families at night. They actually have breakfast with their families, and then they come back and you have the one main film walkthrough situation. But on the road, the coaches are chasing ghosts all day long, and so to me, it gives you a game plan that's not what you would typically do, and you try to reach and maybe do a little too much.
Well, and the crowd. I mean, look, I get it. The crowd was killed during the Tennessee game mainly because of the start. But even without that start, it's a crowd that just doesn't have the juice of a night crowd. That is just the reality of the situation. So no excuse. We want to be Golden Boot goofing by the time that Saturday afternoon rolls around. And then look, if you're a player, Jake, there is nothing better than winning one of these 11 a.m. kickoffs. I mean, all of a sudden, the world is your oyster. You have a whole afternoon. Are you kidding me? You have an afternoon and a night?
Yep.
Like a whole night? You can even watch football if you want while drinking some beers and watching the pressure on other people for once. Like, it's an incredible feeling when you go on the road and get an 11 a.m. dub, and then you're back home by what, like 5 or 6? Like, let's go, dude. So, and And there's a good chance you'll be sitting there watching yourself maybe win the West. Though Alabama Ole Miss is an interesting game that I'm kind of intrigued to see how it's going to play out. But, like, yeah. So there's everything to play for. Approach it in the same way. I believe in the leadership of this team. I believe in the process. I'm not worried about it. Go Tigers. Go take care of business this Saturday. Get the Golden Boot.
Yeah, we got to see where Arkansas's health is as well. They had some injuries. They've had some injuries really all season long. That could be another part of the storyline here for Arkansas, and a team that at times we've seen them play really well. At times we've seen them certainly struggle like they did last week. But make no mistake about it, like, Liberty's a good football team. Should Arkansas lose to them like they did because the score really didn't tell the story of the game? No, but this is a team that is capable, and so you have to go in there. You have to be focused, and I agree with everything that T said. This is a team that has shown you that's who they are to this point in the season.
Yeah, also, that would be a trap to fall into. Like, Arkansas is not going to be the same team against Liberty that they are against you. Like, they will be more locked in. They will probably be more ready to go. All right. When we get back, let's talk about these new CFP rankings, as LSU is very well placed, Jake, to cause absolute and utter chaos. Coming up next here on Off the Bench.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Go to centralplumbing.org, centralplumbing.org, 925-8552, 925-8552. For all your plumbing problems, they got 24/7 plumbing service. 24/7, I mean that weekend, weekday, holiday, doesn't matter, right? So any emergency service, Thanksgiving coming up, gumbo's going to be rolling. Cannot wait for turkey gumbo. Oh, my God. The point is, chill out, Danny. Stop shaking your head at me. The point is, you call up Central Plumbing, 925-8552. You get flat rate pricing. You can trust who's coming in your home. They've seen it all since they've been at this thing for nearly 50 years, y'all. And so it's just so simple. You don't lift a finger, and all your plumbing needs are fixed. CentralPlumbing.org.
Yeah, once you go to the website, you can see that it's not only in emergencies now. It is important with the holidays coming up. They do come out there no matter what, 24/7. Means 24/7. Go to centralplumbing.org. You can see what they can do for you as far as remodels at your job. Maybe it's at your home, whatever it might be. Tankless water heaters as well. centralplumbing.org.
Professional golfers John Peterson and JJ Colleen answer all your golf and life questions inside the new Drop Biscuit Studios podcast for the people. Download or subscribe today at dropbiscuit.com. Follow us on Twitter at 1045ESPN to cast your vote in the Citizens Bank and Trust poll of the day. Vote daily inside Off the Bench, anytime. Hunt and Hill. And after further review, Citizens Bank and Trust brings you the poll of the day via Twitter at 1045ESPN.
Bayou Ford has $10,000 off MSRP plus 2.9% for 60 months on new 2022 Ford F-150s. All new Bayou vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty and free delivery. If you need sales or service, the crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Oh, hey, what's up? It's Big D and Bubba, 100.7 The Tiger Morning Show. We'd love for you to join us every weekday, 4 a.m. till 9 a.m.
Yeah, everything you want in a show. Country music. We got laughs. We got celebrity in-studio guests. We just need you.
Join us every weekday morning, 4 a.m. to 9 a.m., right where it all started.
That's right. Louisiana's country station, 100.7 The Tiger.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact Service Master Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. Service Master Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
It's no secret. The best oysters in Baton Rouge are at Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar. Enjoy mouth-watering South Louisiana flavor and oysters from all over the country. And don't forget our nightly drink specials. Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar.
Join me, Jimmy Ott, for Game Time, live from Snow's Seafood and Steak, Airline Highway at Highway 74 in Gonzales. 6 to 8 p.m. Wednesday. Got a bunch of guests giving out picks. Game Time on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Let it all out. These are the things I can do without. Come on, I'm talking to you. Come on, shout, let it all out. These are the things I can do without. Come on. I'm talking to you, come on.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
What's going on, y'all? Welcome back. Welcome back to OTB. Let's talk about these new college football playoff rankings as week 2 of this year's playoff rankings. And LSU is currently poised to be complete agents of chaos. As a week after being made fun of for sneaking in at number 10 overall, the Tigers have now validated their top 10 status and moved up to number 7. So you have Georgia atop the list, obviously. Jake, something we can get into maybe a bit later in the show, if we're going to do some more general college football talk, is kind of this idea of, has Georgia really supplanted Alabama? Like, have you traded one tiny little emperor for another in Nick Saban for Kirby Smart? But right now,
Kirby's
Georgia.
not tiny.
Is he not tiny?
Nah, he's not tiny. He's like my size.
Okay.
Not tiny.
Okay. Yeah. You
Not
I think,
Frankenstein like you.
Life is relative.
The monster.
Life, yeah, Frankenstein's a monster. Yeah.
I fixed it. I didn't need your help.
No, you said the monster Frankenstein. Maybe you said like the monster Frankenstein created.
Is he not the monster of Dr. Frankenstein?
Yes, there we go.
So
Now
the
you said
monster of Frankenstein.
Yeah, okay, of. I missed the of. See, articles matter. You know what I'm saying? Is that an article? Did I just get that right? I just feel like I reached back in a 7th grade English class and Miss Love was like, or, I don't know.
Okay, the fact that you know Miss Love's 7th grade English teacher.
No, actually, Miss Love was my 9th grade English teacher, and she was quite literally the best teacher I ever had. I still love that woman to death. I actually wrote a paper in college on her because I found her to be so inspiring. She was awesome, dude. She would eschew the traditional classroom aesthetic. Instead of desks, she would sit couches in a circle. It was a very discussion-based class. It was incredible. She was the GOAT. She was, dude. Now, which is funny because she was also super strict and old school as hell. Or whatever. Miss Love, you're incredible. So Georgia number 1, Ohio State number 2, obviously. Michigan up to number 3, which it is kind of funny how we do this. No, it makes sense. Michigan at number 3, TCU 4, Tennessee 5 at 8-1, Oregon 6, and then LSU at 7-2. And then you got USC, Alabama, Clemson rounding out the top 10. Jake, do you have any problem with the top 4?
No, I have no problem with the top 4. That's kind of where I thought it would be coming into it. TCU is a team that I thought should have been higher last week. They continue to win, and they've got an opportunity this weekend. They got College Game Day, again, not in Fort Worth. The game's in Austin, but they have an opportunity to get another big win. So I have no problem with them being at number 4. What do you want to say?
I was going to back up your point and say that, like, as far as TCU goes, everybody needs to do the thought exercise of if TCU was Texas or Oklahoma, where would they be, right?
At least minimum 4.
That's what I'm saying. If it was, they would have been 4
3
last week.
Yeah, they'd be 3 if they were one of those teams because of Michigan's non-conference that we know the committee doesn't like.
Yeah, and so that's all I want to say is just that, like, give them the same credit that you would one of the traditional big boys if they were undefeated because they're playing the same schedule.
Their resume is better than Michigan.
Yeah, I agree.
The resume technically is better than Ohio State.
Also true. It's just that Ohio State's like smashed everyone for the most part until this last week. But yeah, so I'm a huge fan of TCU. It kind of sucks because as an LSU fan, you kind of need Texas to win. But I told you earlier this year, Jake, that if I ever support Texas again and start to believe in them, to slap me in the face. So I'm betting TCU out of pure principle here. I'm not rolling with Texas no matter what.
So my co-host on Tuesdays is Colt McCoy, and
oh wow,
he
53 starts in his college career.
Yeah, he's still playing in the NFL, which is wild. 13 years,
and he's doing this like
on Tuesdays. It's NFL off day.
Oh, that's really cool though.
Yeah. And he was surprised. Like the line came out for that game, and he's like, "Texas is what? Touchdown?
Yeah.
Favorite? Like it's like he's trying to figure out how to stop the losing streak there for the Cardinals. So like he doesn't pay attention like we do. He's he's like Longhorns 7 points. I'm like yeah, but that's what TCU is, that team that no one's going to respect until it like gets to like the very end.
Yeah,
like every time we sit here and we talk about it, they're going to be the team that's the stepchild.
Yep.
Right, 100%. And I don't agree with it, but that's just the way it is. It's already playing out that way. So yes. You've got 18 Texas. Is Texas a good football team? They are. When you look at the 3 losses, they've blown leads against Texas Tech, Oklahoma State, and Alabama. Like they've blown leads. They've controlled those games for a majority of the game. Now, bad teams find a way to do that. That's why they're not a great team. They're a good team.
They've done that for years now, I feel like
Texas
has.
Feels a little different, though, this team. Again,
I think
great
they're a little
and
bit
good
better
is a
this
completely different conversation.
I know. I agree with you. I think they are a better team this year. But
Last week, going on the road to Little Manhattan and pulling off a victory, that's a big one, right? The 13th in the country at the time. So, again, like I understand Texas at home being a favorite, but a touchdown and an extra point in the betting world.
Yeah. So TCU at 4, Tennessee at 5. Tennessee looking very well poised to get into the playoff without having to play in an SEC championship, potentially. Oregon at 6 is very interesting to me, Jake, because
they got 3 games left.
You will not be able to keep Oregon out if they can go undefeated down the stretch here. Because they got ranked matchup against Washington this weekend at home. Then they will welcome Utah to Eugene, which will be a top 15 matchup at least. Then they will finish with an Oregon State team that was in the rankings but just fell out. And then you would have a top 10 matchup with either USC or UCLA. So, like, if Oregon runs that table and Bo Nix is, maybe even leading the Heisman conversation at that point, like, Oregon is getting the Pac-12. This is as well positioned as they've been in a long time.
I agree with you. I know the Georgia loss. I know what that game looked like, but this is still a team that has done what they had to do to put themselves back into this position. And really, you've got multiple teams in the Pac-12, and the Pac-12 is just rooting for one of those teams to run the table. They don't care which one it is. They want one of those teams to run the table, and they've all got, a couple of different games that could certainly move them up in the rankings there. But, like, that's a tough stretch. That's a tough 3-game stretch. Like, at Oregon State, in a rivalry situation against a team in Oregon State that is 6-3, we've seen what they can do at home. We saw what they did against USC and almost pulled off. Probably should have. Had opportunity late in the game to win that game. So the Pac-12 just needs one of those teams to run the table, because if they all 3 get a loss, obviously you're done.
Yeah, they will be done. Which, again, is probably actually good for
So you still got Utah there as well. Now Utah can't get into this top 4. But they can create chaos within the Pac-12 that the Pac-12 probably doesn't want.
I was going to say, Utah can do what it seems like they have done multiple years and just ruin the Pac-12 championship hopes. Like every single year,
every year Utah has
screws it up.
And they have these losses like early in the season. Now, UCLA is kind of in the middle portion, but they have these losses. And it's like, oh, yeah, we're good. Like, let's just go win some games. And now they've won, 3 in a row, I think, and 3 or 7 of their last 8 games, and that's just the kind of streak that they're on. And they've got Stanford, Oregon, and Colorado. So for them, they've got probably the easiest path, even though they have Oregon, to run the table, get into potentially a Pac-12. Well, they will. They would get into a Pac-12 championship because UCLA and USC have to play each other.
Yes, they would get in there. They would ruin the Pac-12 championship chances once again. All right, when we get back, now that we've kind of given a lay of the land of some of the top, let's start to play with LSU a bit here and what the Tigers could do from that number 7 position next here on OTB.
Off the bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Go to GEAUXroof.com, GEAUXroof.com. That's Go Roof, 927-8300, 927-8300, where you will get a beautiful new roof every shingle time. Get it? It's a pun. You dummy. Stop being dumb and call Go Roof. They didn't tell me to say that. They probably actually don't want to call their customers dumb, so that's on me. Let's back it up. You should call 978-300. Any roofing issue that you have, get that free estimate. Of course, everybody's going to be working on the roofs, going to be licensed, bonded, and insured. And to really reinforce that point, they offer you a 2-year workmanship guarantee on top of the manufacturer warranty. So standing by their work. When you call them, you want to have a little fun. Though I question more and more every day how many people in this audience actually know what this is a reference to. As college kids tell me as much as they love OTB. Hit them with the roofs. 927-8300. Go Roof!
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the jimsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the jimsfirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has $11,000 off MSRP plus 2.9% for 72 months on all new 2022 Ram Black Widow trucks in stock. All new Bayou vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty and free delivery. If you need sales or service, the crew at Bayou is going to do right by you.
We know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Ochsner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one. You. Ochsner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
Miller Lite has more taste and only 1 more calorie than Michelob Ultra.
I'm Jay Ducote. I grew up learning how to cook at LSU tailgate parties and right in my own backyard. And I created JD's Louisiana products to bring that Louisiana flavor to you at home for your backyard cookout. JD's Louisiana barbecue sauce, Louisiana molasses mustard, spicy and sweet barbecue rub, and more are available at your local supermarkets or by logging on to jducote.com/shop. Put in promo code CST for 25% off at checkout.
Eli's always been into grilling. It took us a while to see it, but the signs were there.
What are you doing, Eli?
I knew grilling was my thing. I have been talking about it throughout my career.
Happy with the results?
I am. Got the new grill from barbecueguys.com. It performed great.
My advice, as I always told my boys,
do more of what you're born to do.
Barbecue Guys, for those who were born to grill.
You want cheese on your burger, Pops?
I'll take a little cheese.
Crime has serious consequences, but anyone can make a mistake. If you find yourself in trouble with the law, know that you have rights, and it's okay to demand them. The law offices of O.C. Brown are here to protect you and your rights. Felony or misdemeanor, DUI or drug charge. No matter what crime you're accused of, you still have rights. Let the law offices of O.C. Brown uphold them. Call 225-343-1111. Your law firm for a lifetime.
Le posso offrire un caffè? Andiamo insieme da me, non c'è.
Matt Moscona
inviting you to join us for Wednesday's Hump Day AFR. Russ Mitchell returns. I guess 10 is the new 4. It's AFR. Join us from 3 to 6, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Yo, what's happening, everybody? Welcome back, OTB. We're talking about the college football playoffs because it is that time of year. Shout out to the Green Wave, moving up to 17. Remember, as well, boys, that based on how the proposed 12-team playoff would work, right, where you have your 4 highest-ranked conference leaders getting byes. It'd be Georgia, Ohio State, TCU, Oregon today. Everybody else 5 through 11 would make it. Obviously, that's Michigan, Tennessee, LSU, USC, Alabama, Clemson, Ole Miss. But then checking in at number 12 would be none other than Tulane, because the highest group of 5 team gets in. So shout out to the Green Wave. That's pretty cool right there.
So UCLA would get, even though they're in the top 12, would get bumped. Tulane would get pushed up to number 12.
And what else is cool is, that's just a hypothetical, but right now Tulane is in line to get that group of 6 bid. We don't call it group of 6. What's it called? New Year's 6. To get the New Year's 6 bid that the best group of 5 team gets. Now,
and
obviously,
remember,
they have a massive
the American
matchup.
calls it the P6.
Well.
If you ever interview the commissioner of the American, don't make the mistake of calling it a group of 5.
So
you know.
I'm not going to fault anyone for saying, that's fine. Go ahead and say that. I'm not going to say that, but do your thing, American. I don't really care. But the point is, they got a massive one with UCF coming up this weekend, and if they win that, they're one step
That's
closer
almost
to
like a playoff game into the New Year's 6.
Yeah, absolutely. With where those 2 teams are ranked right now. So, the interesting part about all this, though, with LSU at 7, is that they could potentially cause massive and insane chaos. Let's say that LSU wins out, right? 10-2 in the regular season. They go play an SEC championship. We got a fresh baby in my arms. Maybe it's a boy. Maybe it's a girl. Who knows?
Quad bump.
A little queasy. And next thing you know, the Tigers somehow continue this insane season. Kirby Smart just falls asleep at the wheel. I don't know what happens. Maybe he smokes too much Old Toby or something. But somehow LSU wins that SEC championship. Well, all of a sudden, you then have a 2-loss SEC champion. You have a 1-loss Tennessee with a very strong resume that will have blown out that 2-loss SEC champion. And then you would have a 1-loss Georgia that would have blown out the 1-loss Tennessee that, that had an undefeated regular season, would have only lost to the SEC champ, but then would have blown out. That is brutal. You have 3 legitimate playoff candidates out of the SEC. But then when I would love, Jake, and now I'm not trying to maneuver this just for LSU to get in. Like, if you wanted to do that, LSU would need to win that, and then you would need, like, Oregon and these other teams. You just need 2-loss conference champions everywhere. I want chaos, though. I want the College Football Playoff Committee to be put in a mental pretzel. And so you have those 3 SEC teams, and what if you had 1-loss Oregon, who ran the table, but their only loss is to the Georgia team that just lost in the SEC championship? And then maybe you have an undefeated TCU floating around somewhere out there. And then you got the winner of Michigan, Ohio State. Like, it becomes impossible to try to decide who would make it if that was the case. Now, we don't have to stay on this too long because, LSU beating Georgia is I can't even get myself there as good as this year has been. Like, I would not expect it to be incredible if it happened, but some pretty potentially insane stuff there, Jake.
I mean, when you're looking at matchups, by the way, like Georgia and Tennessee, like depending on which team you would have faced in the SEC championship game, that is an interesting conversation. If LSU gets there, to which team maybe LSU matches up with better.
Oh, yeah, I can feel
Not
that.
who's the better team,
Yeah, I
but who
can see
maybe
that.
LSU would match up with better. But you're talking about chaos, and this is like the perfect year, like if there was a 12-team playoff. And I know some people are against that, but I mean, just look at these teams, look at the matchups that we would have in round number 1. You and I were talking about some of them during the break, but you don't have that, right? So we want chaos, and we want it to be a hard decision for the committee. And it really, though, not even talking the LSU portion of this, there doesn't have to really be a lot of it, because Ohio State and Michigan, one of those teams is going to lose, and probably if Michigan, they'd have to play Illinois twice, right? So it's always kind of difficult to play a team twice, even though Illinois just dropped against Michigan State. When you look at Oregon and USC, we've already laid out the Pac-12 and UCLA and the way that they have to find their way there. Certainly can see losses there. TCU against Texas this week. And remember, the round robin TCU, it doesn't get easy. Like, with the way the Big 12 set up, they might not have the heavy hitters. They don't have Ohio State and Michigan. They don't have Georgia, Tennessee, LSU. They don't have the teams at the top. But just when you're going 1 through 10, there's not this huge drop-off. Like, you don't have a Vanderbilt. You don't have a Rutgers. You don't have a Colorado at the bottom. Even Iowa State and West Virginia, who are 4-5 and 3-6, still, like Iowa State, well coached. They can find a way. Great defense. West Virginia, they have capable bodies to give you a game. It's not a good team by any means, but it's not a Vanderbilt.
No, I agree. No,
drop-off.
my face is simply because I'm pissed off at Neil Brown, and I don't want to. I'm a West Virginia fan.
I forgot. Yes.
And I don't want him to be the coach there anymore. You know who I want? I got two.
Send Jimbo back to West Virginia?
Jimbo Fisher.
Oh, wow.
Which, first off, yes, absolutely.
Nick Saban.
How about, and then Nick Saban, dude.
Oh,
They're both
man.
from the state
All right.
of West
Feel
Virginia.
pretty good, actually, about that.
Like, it's the perfect way for Saban to kind of, he wants to get out of the pressure pack insanity of Alabama. But, obviously.
Sorry, I did not mean to steal your thunder.
No,
That was
you're
total
fine,
guesses.
dude, because look at this quote from Jimbo before the season started. Quote, "You don't ever say never in this business, and home is home. West Virginia's always dear to my heart. I love them, and I always love them, rooting for them my whole life. Hey, you never say never in this business where it takes you. I'm happy where I'm at, but I love where I'm at, but home is home." So, hey, look, dude, maybe Jimbo open to it, dude.
Right.
Set up a little buyout agreement, let him go play over there. We'll see.
A little buyout, any buyout with how much he has left would be massive.
Well, I'm saying,
but
no, I know. I'm wondering if even Jimbo's like sometimes like is more willing to hit the negotiating table and be like, give me 40.
Yeah.
Give me 40. And
Give
I'm
me
gonna
the
coach
Bobby
at West
Bonilla
Virginia.
deal.
Yeah, exactly.
The Bobby Bo deal.
Just pay me
Every
$2
March.
million every March 12th, and we'll be good to go.
Because
I forgot what we were talking about.
Real quick, so TCU after Texas, they still have to go on the road to Baylor. Then they finish up with Iowa State, and then they would have a good team that they play in the Big 12 championship game, because remember, that's the two best teams as well. No divisions for a long time there in the Big 12. So, like, it can be chaotic, but it's not really that chaotic to think of some of these scenarios that can play themselves out.
And this is why it's fun. And I get it. Like, everybody can like yell about how like, why are you talking about this? It's all much ado about nothing. And I feel you. But if you're like a college football nerd, this stuff is very fun to kind of hypotheticalize and think about. I mean, right now, if you did, and again, I continue to love this exercise. If you did have a 12-team playoff, you'd have Tulane against Michigan. The winner of that would play Oregon. You'd have Ole Miss against Tennessee. The winner of that would play TCU. Two fantastic games. You'd have Clemson, LSU. The winner would take on Ohio State. Tell me we don't want to see that around Christmas time. Like, tell me you don't want to be cozy in December with a bowl of gumbo, drinking beer, watching Clemson, LSU, and then maybe even like LSU, Ohio State, or Clemson, Ohio State.
Clemson, LSU on campus.
On campus. And then you got Alabama, USC. The winner would play Georgia. Like, come on, dude. It's just so good. And this year, more than any, has the potential to, I think, prove. I mean, it's going to happen. It's 100% going to happen.
Clemson would have to come to the real Death Valley.
Yeah.
You got Ole
Get
Miss,
revenge
Tennessee,
for that freaking
Ole
Peach
Miss,
Bowl.
Tennessee, the mustard bottle being thrown golf balls. You got to revisit that with Lane Kiffin. USC, Alabama, too. I mean, traditional outside of maybe Notre Dame in there. I mean, that's like the traditional matchup.
USC would have a chance this year.
Now, Michigan,
like USC's offense.
Michigan Tulane would be the only matchup that didn't have like some blood, like some bad blood to it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Also,
That'd be
that's
the
a
only
bad
one.
matchup
Bad
for
matchup for Tulane too.
You don't want to play a Tulane kind of tough running the ball style against the kind of the premier team. Well, I'd say Georgia's premier team, but then right behind them.
It's Michigan and Blake Corum.
Yeah. All right. That's enough CFP talk. But hell yeah, LSU ranked number 7, potential to be chaos agents. Things are heating up. If you're a Tennessee fan, I think you're happy today as well. Coming up next here on OTB, let's wrap up hour number 1, and then we got Fluster.
Off the bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Get it done with the G team. That's right, your local injury attorneys, Gordon McKernan. Word on the street is Moscona's been calling him the Gordfather. Now, the Gordfather of NIL. Now, feel like we said that first, but
Imagine if T-Bob would have said that weeks ago.
But it's not a particularly creative joke. So I'm gonna confront him tonight, and we'll see what happens. But the bottom line is that on both AFR and OTB, we're getting it done on the G team. Just like your boy Harold Perkins, Keishawn Booty, the women's basketball team, amongst many others. Jake, give him the number.
225-888-8888. We always talk about like getting it done. Get Gordon and get it done. What's that mean? It means getting to the finish line. It means if there's a goal line, getting past that goal line, because that's what they do. They get it done over there. GetGordon.com is the website. On social media, the handle, you guessed it, @GetGordon, @GetGordon.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Want more customers? Running Boards Marketing can help you get their attention. Imagine your brand's message on a giant LED billboard truck that can't be skipped and is nearly impossible to ignore. Running Boards Marketing is the leader in effective and affordable advertising on digital mobile billboards, which are 2 times more effective than traditional billboards. With a 97% recall rate, you'll leave a lasting impression with your customers. Visit us online at runningboardsmarketing.com so we can drive your message to where the people are.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Oh, hey, what's up? It's Big V and Bubba, 100.7 The Tiger Morning Show. We'd love for you to join us every weekday, 4 a.m. till 9 a.m.
Yeah, everything you want in a show. Country music. We got laughs. We got celebrity in-studio guests. We just need you.
Join us every weekday morning, 4 a.m. to 9 a.m., right where it all started.
That's right. Louisiana's country station, 100.7 The Tiger.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact ServiceMaster Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. ServiceMaster Elite, the trusted choice in
Me, Jimmy Ott for Game Time, live from Snow's Seafood and Steak, Airline Highway at Highway 74 in Gonzales. 6 to 8 p.m. Wednesday. Got a bunch of guests giving out picks. Game Time on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Bring it.
What? On your mark, ready, set, let's go. Dance floor pro, I know, you know, I go psycho when my new joint hit. Just can't sit, gotta get jiggy with it. That's it.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
What's happening, y'all? Welcome back to OTB. Mario, Danny, Jake, and Bob hanging out with you this morning. We got Matt Flynn coming in next for some flustering. We didn't talk about this yet, Jake, but to give you an idea of just how good LSU's past two wins were, look at the SEC Players of the Week for Week 8 and Week 10. Of course, LSU was on a bye for Week 9, but Jaden Daniels quite literally won SEC Offensive Player of the Week back-to-back games, which is incredibly hard to do. Now, again, it was 2 top 10 wins, so for sure. Harold Perkins against Alabama won Defensive Player of the Week. Not Freshman of the Week, Defensive Player of the Week. Now, in Week 8 against Ole Miss, he was the SEC Freshman of the Week. So shout out to both Harold Perkins and Jaden Daniels for getting back-to-back awards. But to give you an idea of how good it has been after Alabama, it was Mason Taylor taking home the Freshman of the Week award for the SEC, while against Ole Miss, it was Mekhi Wingo getting the SEC D Lineman of the Week award. And Mekhi Wingo was absolutely fantastic against Alabama. So that, I don't know that I've ever seen that as long as I've covered LSU. This many awards, 2 games in a row, much less. Like, did we even... I'm sure this could have happened. But did Burrow win back-to-back? I know he won multiple SC Offensive Players of the Week, but did he ever win back-to-back?
Probably, but
maybe.
I don't know that. I can't confirm that. But even the fact that we're asking that question tells you kind of the rarefied air that we're talking about here. And those players have deserved it. Those players have done it on the biggest stage. The first game, number 7 Ole Miss, CBS SEC Game of the Week, and then you face off against number 6 Alabama team, prime time, Herbie and Fowler on the call. I mean, Holly Rowe there on the sidelines, big time moment. Like, so when the lights are the brightest, that's when they've played their best, which is always impressive. It's, no disrespect. They didn't go to Como and do that in a game against Missouri. They didn't do it against Vanderbilt where they racked up 500 yards of offense. No, they did it in the biggest matchups to date for that team.
Yeah. And man, so much fun. Now go take care of business this weekend against the Hogs. Coming up next hour, flustering. We'll have some fun. I don't want to promise a Would You Rather Wednesday. We'll see how the flow of the show is going. If we're on something, maybe we stick on it. But if we're just kind of joking around, having some fun, maybe go a little Would You Rather Wednesday. I would love to talk to Shay Dixon about recruiting later. Or actually, maybe someone. Brody Miller has a great write-up in The Athletic today about the recruiting heater that LSU has been on and just how much even this Alabama game seemed to have helped with said heater.
I mean, everyone that I've talked to, like in the national media, I don't say that like national media. I say that because they're not here every day. So they're watching from afar. They're like, man, and they're hearing stuff from far away. Like, man, this is all I'm hearing about is what BK and what his staff and what they're doing and the ends that they're making. And so, like, when you start to hear that stuff from thousands of miles away, hundreds of miles away, that tells you that it's hitting everywhere, not just here in Louisiana that we hear about.
Flustering coming up next. See you then.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Accutemp of Baton Rouge, AccutempBR.com. AC heating and electrical needs. You want Accutemp where you get service to the highest degree. And that is not just lip service. Go look at the online reviews. Jake can tell you about the Star Club membership in a minute. He is a member there. It's definitely worth looking into. But really, look, like I said, AC Heating and Electrical, any issues that you have, maybe you want to make sure your heater is good to go for when eventually it does get cold. Have them out there. You just never, you're going to be blown away. Like the firsthand experience, I can't even verbalize. You're going to be blown away. Jake, tell them about the Star Club membership.
Yeah, if you are a member, look, now is the time to become a member if you're not, because they're going to come out and they're going to check your unit, because AC, heat, AC, go back and forth here in South Louisiana. And if your system is working like it's supposed to, you don't have to worry about it breaking down on you. Become a member today, ag10br.com, ag10br.com.
During the season of Thanksgiving, Corvell Toyota wants to take the time to thank you for your business. We could not be in business for over 50 years without you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Gracias.
Thank you.
Thank you from Corvell Toyota in Opelousas.
Thank you.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
It's no secret, the best oysters in Baton Rouge are at Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar. Enjoy mouth-watering South Louisiana flavor and oysters from all over the country. And don't forget our nightly drink specials. Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar, located in downtown Baton Rouge.
I'm Jay Ducote. I grew up learning how to cook at LSU tailgate parties and right in my own backyard. And I created JD's Louisiana Products to bring that Louisiana flavor to you at home for your backyard cookout. JD's Louisiana Barbecue Sauce, Louisiana Molasses Mustard, Spicy and Sweet Barbecue Rub, and more are available at your local supermarkets or by logging on to jducote.com/shop. Put in promo code CST for 25% off at checkout.
Eli's always been into grilling. It took us a while to see it, but the signs were there.
What are you doing, Eli?
I knew grilling was my thing. I have been talking about it throughout my career.
Happy with the results?
I am. Got the new grill from barbecueguys.com. It performed great.
My advice, as I always told my boys,
do more of what you're born to do.
Barbecue Guys, for those who were born to grill.
You want cheese on your burger, Pops?
I'll take a little cheese.
Crime has serious consequences, but anyone can make a mistake. If you find yourself in trouble with the law, know that you have rights, and it's okay to demand them. The law offices of O.C. Brown are here to protect you and your rights. Felony or misdemeanor, DUI or drug charge. No matter what crime you're accused of, you still have rights. Let the law offices of O.C. Brown uphold them. Call 225-343-1111. Your law firm for a lifetime.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Good morning, everybody. It is 8 a.m. on Tuesday, November 9th, Wednesday. Your government taco forecast in Baton Rouge expects sunny skies with a high of 82. Coming up on OTB, Matt Flynn joins the show in studio up next for a full hour of flestering. You can follow today's show on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at OTB_ESPN, or catch us on YouTube at the 1045 ESPN channel and subscribe for daily content. Hour number 2 of Off the Bench, live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studio, starts now.
Let we go.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Hey, P, they said I got to come off the bench.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Yo, yo, yo.
Welcome back to Off the Bench, hour number 2. It is Wednesday, hour number 2, which, if you listen to the show, means we welcome in former national championship winning quarterback and NFL veteran quarterback.
Super Bowl champion.
Best
Super
hour of
Bowl
the week right here.
champion.
My High founder.
A man who
Father of many.
Yeah.
Husband to one.
Former Miss Louisiana. Is that
Matt
right?
was?
Do I have it right?
Matt
Do I have the right competition? I get confused on what the.
Yeah,
Okay,
you
yeah.
got it.
Okay, yeah.
Not me.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're from Texas. You couldn't win that.
I couldn't.
Well, actually,
Could you?
could
I don't
you?
know.
Maybe.
I think you could.
I guess it depends on how you identify. The point is, Matt Flynn joins us for the second hour every single Wednesday. Matt, what's up, dude? How you doing, man?
I'm doing fantastic.
Hell yeah, you are, because LSU beat Alabama, dude.
Yeah, they did.
And you were at the game.
I was at the game. I don't go to many.
No.
I was at this one.
First in.
I can't remember. I can't remember if I went to one last year, and I usually go like one or two a year.
That's a lie.
Is it?
Yeah.
Did you stay?
I used to.
You used to. You go to one.
I stayed the
every
whole
other
game,
year.
baby.
Stayed the whole game.
Yeah.
So you saw the 2-point conversion live in the stadium.
Oh yeah, baby. So we had our two oldest kids with us too.
Oh wow, that's special, dude. You
And
and Jake made some big time family.
Oh yeah, we made some big memories. Like we were a little nervous about bringing the kids to the game. Our oldest ones are 7 and 5, so like they're getting into like the prime time. Like they love chanting LSU and stuff. I don't think they know like really what LSU is, but we were nervous because we knew this was going to be like a good game, so we wanted to stay. But like.
You're like, Huck, that's quarters coverage right there. You understand? This is the thing you want to attack.
So if he was talking quarters,
so
no, he'd be mad.
he would
He'd
not be
like,
whispering
hey,
sweet
what's wrong?
nothings.
Oh yeah, no, I would never talk bad to my son like that. But like I've taken him to some practices before, like some really cool like small access practices, like in the stadium, going to scrimmages, and like
I think I was there.
3 minutes in, like he's just miserable. Like, he laying in the grass, like trying to like lay in my shadow. I think to get away from the sun.
It was hot, and Matt's shadow was sitting there, and Huck laid in his shadow.
Yeah, I
to
mean,
try to escape
that
the
makes
heat.
Absolutely.
That's
That's
what
kinda
animal like.
smart.
That makes sense. Yeah.
That's very smart.
That's your natural instincts, right? That's what animals do for sure.
Mm-hmm.
So
we had a great time.
Did you take advantage? I know a few people who took advantage of the crowd rush to actually beat traffic.
Yeah, we'll do. For sure.
Score, hell yeah, everybody celebrated, hugging. And they're like, oh, let's go.
Yeah,
come on, sprint, and then you run out to the car.
Yeah, so my 5-year-old Suzette, she was asleep, like sleeping through the crowd noise, which is impressive, right?
It is. I don't know how they can do it, but they can.
So like we weren't rushing a field. So like as soon as it was over, like there was a good like 4 or 5 minutes of just pure joy, screaming, high-fiving strangers, hugging strangers. You know, it's just it was pretty incredible moment. But then we're like, wait a minute, everyone's distracted on the field. Go, 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 go.
So we got home, and I watched the overtime play. We got home in 15 minutes.
That's what I've been hearing, dude. That's what I heard. I talked to another dad who it was just him and the wife, and he basically said they had to put their running shoes. He was like, hey. Let's ride. And they got home in like 20 minutes.
It was the best. So Katie, they were sitting in the north end zone because they weren't going to go till game day. And so she had the 3 young boys. And they, after overtime was about to start, after Alabama forced overtime, she's like, look, I got Memphis. He's little. I don't want to lose him in the crowd. We're going to go ahead. We're going to go watch the final whatever at a tailgate. So they walk out. They're at a tailgate. LSU wins. They go sprint to the car. She starts to pull out.
Oh,
Jackson and I run and meet them on Skip Burton and hop in the car. We were at our house in 15 minutes.
It's well timed, boys. Okay. We'll get into the game itself in an actual minute. Now that we've started off this hour with traffic talk, great job, T-Bob. Way to go.
I mean, that's real. It's a real deal.
It is a real deal.
And it's a football thing. Wait, it is a football thing.
How about this though, Matt? I'm just remembering now. The only reason you were at the game is because you were a guest captain. Being honored with some other awesome national champion guest captains. Take us through the pregame experience. How did it feel? Be back out there on the field. Who was it? It was you, Witt, Cade York, and Grant Delpit?
You nailed it.
Okay.
Crushed it.
How was it?
It was great. So
guest captain and guest captain. Just talk.
Sure.
That was one
just
this
chopping
year.
it up.
That was one this year as well.
Who were you against?
Mississippi State.
Awesome.
Sweet. That's well. Yeah. So it was fun.
Couldn't
So
remember.
it was. So they asked me a couple months ago, or a month. I don't know when it was. They asked me a while back.
What is
and
time?
so yeah, what is time? Even it's a social construct. Anywho. So they asked you this, and so I had some people coming in town that week. So I had like 8 people coming with me, and so I had to get the person that asked me that works for TAF and LSU. You got to come to the PMAC to get your credentials and everything for the game. And it's like, all right, cool. So we go to the PMAC, the TAF tailgate, and they're like, oh yeah, you got to give a speech.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. we did that.
And I was like, what?
And I was there.
This wasn't part of the deal. I would have not accepted this role as guest captain.
I was heckling you. You just couldn't hear me.
You were there?
How good is the new L Club set up as well, dude? It's
great.
The
Yeah.
PMAC. It's absolutely
way
fantastic
better.
with
Yeah.
family.
Absolutely.
It's
So
so good,
they had a
man.
great time. So like my kids got to sit like on the I guess the courtside seats and stuff, and the band was playing, and your boy had been tailgating.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Your boy was ready.
I thought you did well.
Your boy was ready for the mic.
Let's go, China!
No, the one thing you'll always know about Flynn, like he's been hydrated, but you don't know how much he's been hydrating. He hides it incredibly well.
Yep.
Well,
And I'm not bashful about it. Like I started out my pump up speech with like, look, just like all you, I've been tailgating. I've had a few libations.
You did. You told him.
I told him. Let him know. Cade York had to follow me though.
Poor Cade.
Oh, that
Cade.
sucks, dude. A kicker on the mic. You never want a kicker on the mic. That's just kind of like
Cade was pretty nervous.
So I bet just like me though, he probably didn't know till like 5 minutes before that he had to get on the microphone at the PMAC and talk to people. So it's a little nerve-wracking.
Was it cool seeing Big Witt again? I feel like Big Witt's just obviously kind of like taking over the football world now. He somehow survives that late career knee injury. He gets the first Super Bowl. He ascends to football heaven, and now he's on the Thursday night primetime broadcast.
I thought he said his first time back in 12 years.
Yeah,
I guess I didn't realize that.
It makes sense, right? He's been playing.
I know, yeah.
But I guess he has bye weeks.
Yeah,
and
bye
stuff,
weeks.
yeah.
Like you don't come back every year. I think I came back probably 2 of the 6, something like that. But 12 years, I didn't realize it had been that long.
Yeah, that's a minute now.
Yeah, he's still large. He's still large.
So he last time he was back, he was watching you play T-Bob.
Oh wow, yeah.
Look at there.
Yeah, probably.
No, it was great. I mean, it was all like I think that was really the first time I've ever. I hadn't seen Witt in a long time.
Mm-hmm.
That was the first time I might have ever spoken to Cade, and maybe Grant. Like besides like hey, what's up? Nice to meet you. Like in the locker room or something.
Did you have give me so when you were on the field pregame, was your adrenaline pumping?
Oh
some
yeah,
juice
dude.
going.
Yeah,
there?
like it's
Was the
hard not to.
stadium
So
electric?
like moments like Tiger Stadium is like so electric that like if you're on the field, no matter where you're on the field, it's like you can almost physically feel the energy because you can physically feel the sound waves, and that just creates energy. So like if you can't, if you're not excited for that, like you're dead. Like even if you're not playing, if you're not doing. You remember in 2017 when we walked out as captains for the 10-year and 07 reunion.
Game,
It's like, so we walk out and like we were like, I was about ready to headbutt somebody from Auburn like that day. I was so ready to play.
Yeah.
All of us were not that far removed from our playing days.
Right.
It was walking out. It was me, you, Stelz, and
Putt. Yeah.
Only 10 years.
Yeah.
No.
Like from putting pads on, right? So it's like
it had only been 2 years.
I thought you meant from college.
2 years for me, probably like a year, maybe.
Yeah,
for
it's
you,
like
at
a year
most.
for me. Yeah, and
just that first football season.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, we were pretty fired up. But yeah, we went out there, and obviously, as we did we win the toss this week? Probably so. Yeah.
No, we lost the toss to Alabama
on purpose.
Yeah. Because I was ready to be furious if we had won and taken the ball. Yeah. But no, Alabama won it, and I believe they did first.
Then we went to overtime. I was trying to get down the field because I'm sure they needed us down there for the coin toss, but we won. So.
Well, hell yeah. Okay, so we kind of
y'all need me? Overtime?
That's the worst. Like captain for the Kentucky game, and we kept having to like go out there. and you go out there. It's like,
yeah, you ruined my pool party, remember?
Oh,
it was really my friend's pool party,
Sorry about
but
that.
you
Sorry.
ruined it for me.
Dang, that stinks.
I know. Way to go, boys. All right. Okay, so we have set the scene. That's great, Matt. Congrats on the guest captain. That all sounds awesome. When we get back, let's dive into what you saw in the actual game itself with more OTB.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Go to allstartoyota.batonrouge.com, allstartoyota.batonrouge.com. Hey, boys, I got a text from my boy this morning, my guy Matt Branch. He said, guess what? I joined the mom gang, and he had a beautiful new 2022 Sienna sitting there in the picture that he sent me, Jake. We're talking all white, but with black wheels.
Ooh.
Thing looking
Well, Stormtrooper.
clean, looking so, yes, actually. Whoa, look at you. Very happy.
Yeah.
Very proud of you.
Yep. Thank you.
But the point is, he's blown away by it. You will be too, okay? Join me in the Toyota Sienna, the minivan gang. Or if you want to go to Tundra, whatever, Toyota's a great investment. New, used, they got it all at All-Star Toyota Baton Rouge.
Maybe you're not ready to make the full plunge into the Sienna. Maybe you just want to test it out first. Got some good news for you there as well. You can rent a Toyota. If you're going to the game this weekend, driving up to Arkansas, you can rent a Toyota. You can rent that Sienna, the Tundra, whatever you need. You can find it all online, per day rental prices. All-Star Toyota of BatonRouge.com.
Professional golfers John Peterson and JJ Colleen answer all your golf and life questions inside the new Drop Biscuit Studios podcast for the people. Download or subscribe today at dropbiscuit.com.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
Light beer shouldn't taste like water. Miller Lite has more taste and only 96 calories. It's Miller time.
I am Juliet, daughter of Marguerite, granddaughter of Gabriel Piera. I come from a line of strong women, women who knew struggle and success too. Still, I was scared by my breast cancer diagnosis. But I had Blue Cross coverage, which meant I got care from top doctors. I'm strong like my mother, and her mother before her. The right card, the right care.
Before we begin any electrical work here, we perform a home safety check that begins at your electrical panel to make sure that you and your family are safe. For all your upgrades, installations, and repairs, call Mr. Electric.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has $11,000 off MSRP plus 2.9% for 72 months on all new 2022 Ram Black Widow trucks in stock. All new Bayou vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty and free delivery. If you need sales or service, the crew at Bayou is going to do right by you.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Want more customers? Running Boards Marketing can help you get their attention. Imagine your brand's message on a giant LED billboard truck that can't be skipped and is nearly impossible to ignore. Running Boards Marketing is the leader in effective and affordable advertising on digital mobile billboards, which are 2 times more effective than traditional billboards. With a 97% recall rate, you'll leave a lasting impression with your customers. Visit us online at runningboardsmarketing.com so we can drive your message to where the people are.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance with the latest in office.
Matt Moscona inviting you to join us for Wednesday's Hump Day AFR. Russ Mitchell returns. I guess 10 is the new 4. It's AFR. Join us from 3 to 6, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Would. I think he would. If I said, you coach him, if you had time, yeah, have a little conversation here about, going to support your friends' children if they're playing a sport.
Sure. T-Bob's against it.
I'm not against it.
You're supporting a lot of kids' children when you go watch LSU.
No, I'm not against it. I think y'all are lying. But I don't know.
I really don't though.
That's fine. That's fine.
Like when Memphis sees,
I do not want to get into this argument.
When Memphis sees
Let's
Matt,
talk the whole seg about
when
this.
Memphis sees you, he's like, "Hey, number 15, Coach Matt."
Yeah.
Like every time he sees him, "Hey, number 15, Coach Matt."
Yeah.
He calls him.
We diced it up last year.
Yeah, so
I know.
I feel like Matt would come watch him. I'd go watch Huck.
That's great.
We sweat together. We bled together on the same
We did.
field.
Yeah.
Shared victories. Shared
Once
losses.
once Quad Bob gets here, you'll understand.
Oh, what? Girls can't play sports too? I can't understand because what? Alice can't play like
Here we
softball
go.
or football or basketball or anything? Soccer?
Oh. Well,
Why didn't you come watch Alice's soccer team that lost 30-0 every game last year?
Did you invite me?
And invite him to the dance recital this year.
Oh.
No, because I think that's insane to ask another adult person with an adult life worth of responsibility to come watch your kid play sports. That's what we're talking about here. And I think you're both lying when you say that you would have the time or take the time to spend a night watching the other kids play
Sometimes it's
sport.
fun. They sell beers.
Yeah.
They have nachos,
hot dogs,
Frito
corn
dogs.
dogs.
It does not count if you are also there already for your own kid. My point is, in a vacuum, you are not showing up to go watch a friend's kid play sports. And if you do, more power to you. I don't think you are.
I don't feel like it's that
That's
weird.
I don't think that's that weird either.
Okay.
Oh, that's weird.
That's fine.
Maybe it's
Prove it.
It's
Prove it.
different
Send me
if it's
pics.
like
Send me
every
pics.
week, but once.
Yeah.
Okay, send me pics then. Prove it. Don't
Actually,
talk about me about it.
I'll give a shout out to the my boys in the supper club. We have a supper club. They come over and they can watch the boys play. They don't even have children. Like, hey, come support the family. But
So,
it's all right. Let's go. Let's move on.
While admittedly,
Like, when does it
that
become
is
okay?
also
Like,
not
what-
something that I would do.
Like organized.
They don't have nearly as much going on, so that makes sense.
Like organized school teams. Then to you, does it become okay? Like middle school.
Well, no. I mean, that's normal. If you have like a kid at the same school and they want to go watch their school play, yeah, that all makes sense. I'm talking about just like some little league that you have no affiliation with, and you're just going to watch a friend's kid play. If we were to take a poll, I
So,
do
like,
not think
you
the
would
majority
only
of the
go
audience
to
would-
watch a friend's kid.
I don't think the numbers would be like you're thinking.
Okay, let's do it then. Put it on the poll. We'll figure out exactly how to word it. But it needs to. But yeah, we'll figure out exactly how to word it, and we'll do it. Also, maybe we should start doing a YouTube poll as well for everybody watching online. Anyway, whatever. We don't need to get bogged down here.
Like if your friend, if you had a good friend, his son was playing, or daughter was playing a high school
This is the
sport.
exact same thing my wife does.
What about
I
chess
don't need an
championships?
analogy. Like I don't need an analogy.
What about
I
chess?
understand.
It's a question.
What
I
about
understand.
what about chess? Chess championships.
I do love watching chess. So that's a bit different because I would want to go to the chess championships like just to go and see like young talent play.
I don't think it's that different.
Maybe it's not. Okay, then y'all prove it. I look forward to seeing pictures from both of y'all at
guess
the
I'm
other
just
one's
asking
kids'
when
game.
it's
in which they
okay
have no affiliation,
to
and you're
start
not already at
watching
the
other
ballpark.
kids.
Okay.
And you don't have anything after the game either.
I'll come watch
Stay
Alice
at the
play
ballpark.
soccer and lose 30-0.
You don't want to. I would never invite you. That it's awful. It was so bad and so annoying, and I wanted to fight so many of these kids on the other teams.
You did. Yes, you did.
Yeah. No. Anyway.
Okay, sorry.
How
How about LSU, huh?
Yeah.
About
Okay.
him, buddy?
All right?
Jeez.
Am I right?
Yeah.
Not mean for this
Beating
to go this
Alabama.
way. Matt.
Yep.
I know you were in the stadium, and analysis is hard when you're in the stadium. But then normally
Watching
when
other
you're at home,
people's kids play.
Yeah. I mean, I hate that is technically true. And that you have no affiliation or reason to be there otherwise. I mean, I guess you had a reason. From an analysis standpoint, did anything stand out to you on Saturday? Obviously,
Hell
we were
yeah, it
loving
did.
having you breaking down Jaden Daniels every single game. How do you feel your boy JD5 did?
Amazing. Loved it. 3 weeks in a row,
Yeah.
playing incredible. If he would have played like this the whole year, he'd be a shoe-in for the Heisman.
I thought the game plan on both sides for LSU was fantastic. We've seen it on the defensive side, and there's been good game plans since Tennessee on the offensive side.
Mm-hmm.
But the positions that they put him in to succeed and how he, because you can put a player in position, you still got to go out there and make a play.
Mm-hmm.
And he was making the plays. There was wrinkles that we didn't see. This is the first time, Matt, that the bye week was an advantage on both sides of the football for LSU. Because in 2019, I thought LSU and Minger, what they put together was an advantage for them, but the defense still gave up a lot of points.
Yeah.
This, on both sides of the ball, was advantage LSU, and this is the first time that I can say that in at least a decade.
It's incredible. So we outcoached Alabama, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
You can't dispute that.
Yeah,
There's no other way around that. And our kids, I'll say, Alabama and LSU players executed their asses off, I thought, like on both sides. It was high quality football watching. Like from games earlier in the year, where like we would go and like LSU would win a game against whoever. Like earlier in the year, we'd lose. I'd come away and we'd talk during the break of the show, and I'd be like, it looked like two bad football teams playing each other.
Yeah.
The past couple of weeks, and this game looked like two really good football teams playing against each other, and it was about executing when it mattered. And I thought both teams did.
Yeah.
Like, and it was just back and forth. That's what made it such an incredible game. But like when I watched it, like I was blown away by our defense. Okay, so we can talk about offense later. How Jaden plays.
I want you to go
but
with
the defense. When you talk about the bye week, how we talk about the adjustments that our defensive coordinator has been able to make during game, mid game, all year.
Yeah.
Well, he made those adjustments when he was given 2 weeks before the game, right?
Yeah.
And he had a plan. Deviated from the plan a little bit, but the plan, we scrapped quarters, which I love.
Okay, yes. Quarters coverage.
And they may have run it and had some success, but they didn't run it a lot. And one of the reasons why was because the plan was to make Alabama uncomfortable.
Yeah.
To make him uncomfortable with the ball. Don't give him time to do his thing back there.
Yeah,
don't give him time because he did, and he did it a couple times when we'd rush 3 or we couldn't get to him. He'd sit back there and take forever, scramble, and people you can't cover.
What was the stat? Like 26 hurries, only 2 sacks? I mean, they were around him. Yeah, 27 pressure. You're right.
We were bringing it. And so when you bring it, it makes you vulnerable on the back end. So you have to hold up, and our guys held up. And we brought pressure from the linebacker. We brought pressure from the DBs, but it wasn't always necessarily with like 5 or 6 man pressures.
I was going to say, a lot of it was just 4 from creative directions, right?
Exactly. But you still, as an offense, you still have to treat it as a pressure. Even if they're still only bringing 4, if you're bringing them from non-traditional areas, you still have to treat it because it still screws up your pass protection. So it still makes you get the ball out.
So did you see, and obviously, Matt, there's not a better QB spy in the country than Harold Perkins. Like, he definitely jumps off the screen.
Unbelievable.
But one of the things that I saw when I was rewatching film, because Bryce Young had a ton of incompletions, right? I think he ended up under 50%, so he had around 26, 27 incompletions. A lot to choose from. There were definitely a handful where he's had third away because of pressure. There were a handful where, like, guys were getting pushed into his lap, and at the last second, he's getting, like, off his spot or getting hit. But it also looked like, and I don't know if you saw anything coverage-wise. I just don't know how to evaluate that portion of the film or the game. But it looked like there were quite a few times where he was seeing things late, like about who was actually open or maybe what the coverage was. And then he was like trying like a quick like snap throw, and you could tell that the timing wasn't there, and it was leading to inaccuracy. And like one of the most accurate quarterbacks that we've seen. Did you see that? Am I off base here? I just felt like there were probably like 4 or 5 times where he was like all of a sudden like, and then trying to snap there. Wasn't getting hit or anything, but was not delivering an accurate ball.
You made him uncomfortable with bringing pressure and bringing people from different directions and not playing vanilla, not playing standard coverages all the time. Like, continue to pepper him on all the passing situations. I don't remember, except maybe count on one hand. This is all I'm recalling this from watching in the bleachers.
Yeah.
But like, I don't, on one hand, that we didn't bring somebody that wasn't just the down 4.
Yeah,
like, we're always bringing something, right?
Yeah. And then somebody would drop out. It'd be like, Jolari dropping back, Perkins dropping back, whatever.
And what we're doing a lot, I'm seeing
of
like
twists.
we're lining up We're lining up with what looks like 3 safeties deep.
Yeah.
Pre-snap, and then at the snap, 1 or 2 of them drop to make your standard 1 high, 2 high coverage.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so when that's happening, and also your peripherals as a quarterback are trying to figure out, am I hot? Because holy smokes, this guy's rushing at me from the slot, or this linebacker's coming at me with his hair on fire. Am I hot? Which linemen are dropping out? There's a lot of information to process there.
Yeah.
Now, historically, and your standard, offensive mindset is when they're doing that, there's opportunities to gash. But what the coach and like our DBs, they just held up, and they took away the quick stuff that normally can gash defenses when you bring pressure. They took away the deep stuff, and they had relentless pursuit of Bryce the entire time.
The motor was incredible.
But it was like disciplined, relentless pursuit. They didn't run at him like their hair was on fire and over pursue or outrun. And they like this is how you defend guys like him is you rush relentlessly, but you stop your rush when you get to the depth of the quarterback.
Right.
Well,
and that's what we did.
And so Wingo did and all the defense, Ali as well, but Wingo especially did a fantastic job of consistently driving that tackle back, right? Kind of into Bryce, making him comfortable. And then it felt like they were, whether it was Perkins or Jolari, a lot of times they were twisting one of those two through the middle to try to get that interior pressure, and the other guy would hang back, or he'd be waiting around the edge, right? Like they were doing like you said, a perfect disciplined rush where they were spilling Bryce, but right into somebody's waiting arm.
So it's almost like it's a pass rush, but with like the principles of run game for the defensive lineman.
Yeah.
Like you're trying to rush and get close to the quarterback, but you're also trying to fill all the gaps. You know what I mean? Like,
you got to be gap
like
sound.
as a defensive tackle, your job is to not make the tackle.
Right.
All the time. Like you're supposed to fill the gap, like short yardage, goal line, fill the gaps, let your linebackers take control. So they filled the gaps, didn't give Bryce like the easy scramble. Now he's going to get away, right?
Yeah.
So it happens. He hit the big pass. Yeah. But like when I say they were disciplined in their relentless pursuit of him, they made him uncomfortable, they spilled him for the most part where they wanted to go. But like even from the back end, when I was watching, so when he'd scramble, I'd get like super nervous watching. And so I would watch the back end, right?
Yeah.
And how they pass off, because you never want your DBs to take Bryce and leave their guy open.
What
it happened one time, right?
What happened on the big play? Exactly.
But for the most part, they were passing, like the right guy was taking Bryce, and they were staying in coverage. Or they would communicate when a receiver he'd be going across the middle, and then he would turn for a scramble drill and go back towards the sideline that he came from. Mm-hmm. They were passing, they were like communicating during the play.
Which is very hard to do in college football.
It's so hard to do. Yeah. You have to have really good chemistry with guys.
I mean, that's a Matt House. He deserves credit for that, right? Anytime you're getting college players to mentally be on that same page, that's big time coaching.
Well, to what Matt was talking about, they were a team that ran quarters a bunch. They only ran quarters in this game 6 times.
Yeah.
Right? And so they got rid of that. But also what Matt's talking about, they ran a lot of 3 safety looks, and they turned it into even cover 1 at times. And they ran cover 3. That was their main coverage. They ran it 30 times. But you run that, and you know that they're going to run that. And then that's when you disguise off of your main coverage. And that's what LSU did.
There's like 30 different ways to run cover 3.
There is.
You never have to make it look the same.
No, and they did a really nice job. They ran cover 1 17 times, to Matt's point. They ran cover 0 14 times.
I remember that
in this game.
Second to last play of.
That's a big number. They ran cover 0 twice as much as they ran quarters, which is exciting for someone who hates quarters like everyone here in this room. That's exciting.
Quarter stinks, and we just proved it.
Yes, it does. And it was a great game plan, and you're
I'd
right.
I'd like to go back. So I hadn't watched the film yet. I know we're going to do our podcast today, so I'm going to watch it kind of in between now and then. So I'd be interested to watch those cover 0s, because I'm sure I'm going to have some like asterisks by them. They were cover 0, but with like rules, right? It wasn't
Matt is a big asterisk. When you call out the coverage, he's like, it is, but.
Yes. Well, that, he sees the matrix for what it is. That's what happens when you play NFL quarterback for that long. You just see things at a further
like anytime we're talking cover 6, Matt's like,
Todd Hoover says, T-Bob, Jared Bernard Conference had a huge game, but y'all don't talk about him. Literally, that was like one of the main takeaways in our film
That was a
session
segment yesterday.
Yeah, was how incredible he was.
Who said that?
318-31 great.
Yeah.
Evangel Christian alum.
And I love Todd. But I mean,
shut it.
I'm also using that as a way again to bring up that Jared Bernard Conference was awesome.
I'm pretty sure
Go
T-Bob
look at-
even reenacted like the slap.
Yes, well, it's like, well, I mean, go look at the last two plays before Alabama kicks the field goal to go into overtime. They run cover 0.
Yep.
Jared Bernard Conference is 1-on-1. They go to the end zone, perfect coverage, incomplete. And then on 3rd and 10, they run this little out route, and it's caught, and it would have been first and like goal or first 10 from like the 10 or the 12 with 30 seconds left. Just an awful place to be. Yeah, it gives you the heebie-jeebies. And Jared Bernard Conference slapped it out the hands. And next thing you know, field goal, overtime, rest is history. So, no, like Matt said, they held up on the back end, dude. All the DBs deserve a ton of credit. Joe Fouché, that was the highest graded player.
It was. The fact that they're running cover 0 in that situation when like quarters
That's some
is
big
the
ball stuff.
quarters
dude.
is the normal coverage because you don't want to keep everything in front of you and you don't want to whatever. No, they're going cover 0, and you're right. Like big balls didn't just happen there in overtime. I mean that is big balls right there. To call cover 0 against a Heisman Trophy quarterback because I wasn't expecting it. I know nobody in that stadium was expecting it, and that tells me Alabama wasn't expecting it.
Bama, you're done. You're fired.
Done,
Your reign of terror ends.
Oh, look at you, the little purple
You're
and gold.
fired.
The brothers Flester. Yimmer in the chat says, Tebow feels left out when Hester and Flynn are talking secondaries and coverage. No. I feel like a student. Like this is what I love. I can listen to y'all's dumbass comments all day. It's nice to actually hear from people who know better than you. It's great.
We're kind of dumb too.
It's but not in football. And everything else,
True.
yes, you know this. I will fight y'all on nearly any other subject, just not on the subject of football or coverages. All right.
Hey, guess what? I tailgated by the Indian Mountains this weekend.
Yeah. Okay. So
big pile of dirt.
They pushed it together.
Let's go to break.
I have talked to some. I've talked to some
1950s,
actual
1950s. Yeah.
scientists about the mounds, and I do
Air
call
quote,
it. I do
scientist.
call into question maybe the findings that it is the cradle of civilization, but y'all are still way off about how old it is.
I think you're leaning towards our direction on this.
See
one
that,
a
and
little bit.
that's the problem. That's the problem. That's the problem. I can't even I can't even be like, you know what? I think actually there's an argument for this without you taking it to me saying that the Indian Mounds were fake and made like 10 years ago.
Never said that.
Yes, you did. That's exactly what y'all said.
10 you can't prove to me.
I hate y'all
Lots
so
of
much.
things.
I got in a 3-hour argument last Friday night with a friend who shocked me. This is a man I respect, an intelligent man, and he sat there and tried to convince me that the Earth is shaped like a donut for 3 hours. I don't mean
like with a hole and everything.
Like I don't know, dude.
Wait.
I don't know.
Huh?
I can't.
Let's get. Can we
No,
unpack this a little bit more next
I don't
time
during the break? No, I can't do it during the break. We
Okay.
touch it. I can't do this
Like,
again on
picture
air.
this.
It's insane.
The donut Earth, sitting on the Indian Mounds, watching someone else's kid play
flag football.
youth
Or youth
flag
sports.
football. Yeah, youth sports,
Youth
whatever
sports
it
and
is.
karate.
Be my dream.
I would just start bleeding out of my ears and die. I would explode, spontaneously combust. All right, we got to go to break. More to be next.
Off the bench with Hester and T-Bob.
It may not be able to teach you about coverages, but ITI Technical College can teach you a trade, right? A local family-owned trade school that's been at it for 50 years, y'all, and one that can give you a career. I'm always talking about the Georgetown study that was done a couple of years ago where they looked at the best return on investment you can get in terms of what you pay for education versus what you can expect to make in your career. And there's literally not a better investment in the state than ITI Technical College. It's a top 15 investment in the entire country. So you want a career? You want to work in Louisiana industry? They can get you ready for these jobs, an AOS degree in 2 years. And then once you graduate, Jake, they can actually help assist you in getting these jobs as well. ITI Technical College are right there off of Airline Highway, iticollege.edu.
Yeah, and they're going to help you in so many ways. I mean, the schedule is going to be flexible for you, day and night classes. Like T-Bob always talks about, Fridays are also, even if you have something else going on, they can still get you to the finish line, which is the main objective here. 877-591-1070.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the jimsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the jimsfirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
There it is, the extra mile. on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Oh, hey, what's up? It's Big D and Bubba, 100.7 The Tiger Morning Show. We'd love for you to join us every weekday, 4 a.m. till 9 a.m.
Yeah, everything you want in a show. Country music. We got laughs. We got celebrity in-studio guests. We just need you.
Join us every weekday morning, 4 a.m. to 9 a.m., right where it all started.
That's right. Louisiana's country station, 100.7 The Tiger.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact ServiceMaster Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. ServiceMaster Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
It's no secret, the best oysters in Baton Rouge are at Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar. Enjoy mouth-watering South Louisiana flavor and oysters from all over the country. And don't forget our nightly drink specials. Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar, located in downtown Baton Rouge.
Eli's always been into grilling. It took us a while to see it, but the signs were there.
What are you doing, Eli? I knew grilling was my thing. I have been talking about it throughout my career.
Happy with the results?
I am. Got the new grill from barbecueguys.com. It performed great.
My advice, as I always told my boys,
do more of what you're born to do.
Barbecue Guys, for those who were born to grill.
Join me, Jimmy Out for Game Time, live from Snow's Seafood and Steak, Airline Highway at Highway 74 in Gonzales. 6 to 8 p.m. Wednesday. Got a bunch of guests giving out picks. Game Time on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
I'm waking up to fantasy. The shades all around, the colors we used to see. Broken eyes still melts in the sun. Ties that are broken often been one again. We're so alone and so really matters to me. Look around. You're out of touch. I'm out of time. But I'm out of my head when you're not around. You're out of touch. I'm out of time. But I'm out of my head when you're not around.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Welcome back, OTB. Flestering right along here in hour number 2 on Wednesday. Von Blues was at a Haven's Bacon in this win since Saturday. I set my alarm clock at every 2 hours just to wake up and laugh. LOL, go Tigers. This is one of those types of games. Like, I mean, we're all still riding the high. KO says this sports morning show plays the best music. That's Daniel. Good job, Danny. Danny was very quick to
Danny
take credit.
set up quick.
That's what I'm saying. Very quick to take credit. Impossible to take any blame for anything.
This is a rare time I'll kind of take off for Danny, though. That was even harder to do today with all the problems we're having, and we're still able to play music.
That is true. That is true. We without some creative producing on Mario and Danny's part, we would just be pulling from generic license-free music, which Remember those few months where we went through that? It was just like awful, dude.
If I wasn't here, Mario, that's what the show would be.
Okay,
Mario
see,
loves
like,
that.
We're having a good. See, that's what I'm talking about. That's like an anti-Foxhole move.
I'm saying,
while having a good moment, we're just relaxing and we're all supporting one another. And Danny goes out of his way to try to discredit Mario and take a shot.
No, I'm saying Mario actually likes the generic music. Like he likes that.
I know he does, but that was not at all the point of the conversation.
Yes.
We were just all supporting one another in the production. Jake and Matt have perked up because they have seen Greeny say that LSU will win the most national titles in the next 10
They're
years.
asking Heather Dinich, Paul Feinbaum, and Greeny, which college, and Heather Dinich picks USC. Paul Feinbaum picks Georgia, and Greeny said LSU over the next 10 years will win the most national championships. So it's important because LSU's in that number, and Alabama was not in that number.
Well, and I do kind of want to.
Interesting.
Yesterday if I asked you boys right now, and I know what my answer is, it's very clear. Right now, will Nick Saban win another national championship at Alabama? I'm still saying yes.
I'm still saying
this is the first time
that
they are playing football in November with, not competing for. This is the first time they're playing football in November without a chance at a natty since 2010, right? They've been in the top 10 like 120 weeks in a row. They remain there. It's the first time they've lost 2 games before the SC championship since like 2010 or 11. Like, I'm an idiot, okay, but I'm not a fool, and there's still too much evidence that says they'll be okay. Now, if we get to multiple natties, that I don't think. I mean, because the rise of Georgia has kind of thrown a kink into all of this, but I'm too beaten down over the years. Like, I gotta believe Nick has at least one more in him.
It begs the question, like, how long does he coach? Does he coach forever? If he coaches 5 more years, I say yes. The problem is why it's so much harder. Well, harder right now is because they were so great for so long. Teams have basically built, in the SEC at least, built their teams to beat Alabama.
Yeah.
Right?
Sure.
So, like,
what Kirk Kirby is doing, he's out recruiting them.
Get your head kicked in by them enough, like, you start recruiting and building an anti-Alabama team.
Yeah.
It just so happens an anti-Alabama team can beat everybody else as well. So, like, people will continue to do that, right? Georgia's built in the same model as Alabama. So, like, there's the SEC, it seems like, continues to get better and better. The rise of Tennessee this year. Florida's not going anywhere, probably. Ole Miss, who knows about Texas A&M, but they got those 5 stars. So you never know. But I don't see LSU hitting the brakes anytime soon. So it's going to be hard. But if he gets the playoffs, they win probably.
I mean,
right?
I don't know. I don't know even about. But I mean, I can't just off of 2 losses, and I know you can also say last year. It's really been 2 years where it's been like kind of not the Alabama standard.
They played for the championship last year.
So that was kind of my point, right? Everybody yesterday was going like so hard against him, and I'm like, okay, if your awful year, I get they played in close games.
Yeah.
But if your awful year is you beat the national champion in the SEC and played for a natty, won a playoff game, like, if that's your awful year, let's be a little wary of just counting this man dead too quickly here. Like, chill out.
And Matt, you can speak on this even more.
And I hate Alabama, obviously.
Even more than I can. You played for Coach Saban more years than I did. But what he's always been good at is adjusting to whatever he had to adjust to. However the game changes, he's not too prideful. He will make a change.
Yeah.
Like we've seen it in different things over the last 15 years. I mean, even bringing Lane Kiffin in because he knew he had to do that. Whatever the change is, he's always shown he will, make sure that he is up to the game with that change. But the game has changed so much. Does he want to continue that? And I don't know that he does.
Question.
That's like, does he want to continue with it where it's
coaches
going?
for another 5 years, he wins another national championship.
Yes.
Like, I believe. He's not going to recruit anywhere, so he can still walk up to recruit and dump rings on the guy's lap.
You can still. It still holds true that if you have committed to Nick Saban, even through his LSU days, if you have committed to Nick Saban, you have stayed 4 years, you have a ring.
Yes.
You have a national championship ring.
It's
Every
guaranteed.
single commit that has committed to him since the year 2000, if you stayed 4 years, you get a ring.
And so he incredible coach. So, like, he's built the culture, but even incredible coaches and incredible players have to rely on some good fortune always. So he's always had the good fortune of under his wing having great assistant coaches, and he doesn't know. He doesn't touch the offense. We know that from when we played for him.
Right.
Like,
No, he doesn't.
He didn't hardly even come to the offensive field unless it was to yell at somebody.
I mean, I never saw it.
Right?
Wait, so did he just pop in to yell at someone?
Yeah.
Yeah. But that was it. I mean, Jimbo was the head coach of the offense.
Yeah, Jimbo was the head coach of the. It's
Yeah.
exactly right. So I would assume that over the last 20 years, like it's probably the same. So like, he lets his coaches coach. Now they have to coach in his model, right?
Right.
And so he deserves all the credit for the success. But like, you have to have good people. So he will continue to do that. But he also has to be relying on his offensive coach and coaches and coaches.
Yeah.
Like, he lets his coaches coach.
That is a great point. It's a misconception that he doesn't, because he
Right.
does.
Yeah.
I mean, he lets his coaches go out there and come up with the game
I think y'all
plan.
are just triggering the Alabama fans, though, because Alabama fans right now hate those coordinators.
Well-
When I tell you they want Bill O'Brien and Pete
All right.
Golding the hell up
Well,
out of
listen
there,
to
dude.
the
Bill
last
O'Brien
segment.
had the Heisman Trophy winner last year.
Look, I'm not saying it. I'm
we
saying
said
that
we
is
thought
what they have latched on
I
to.
thought Alabama played great during the game.
Yeah, that's fair.
It was a great football game.
Yeah,
like,
that's a
you
good
can't be mad at another team also playing great. And Alabama easily could have won, right? Very easily.
Yeah, for sure. Obviously.
But they didn't.
But they did it.
Because you
Screw 'em.
suck. You're
The only
fired.
problem I have with what we just saw up there
Now, you were
is
5. Were you 5-0 against Alabama?
Yeah. A different Alabama.
the USC.
But, yes.
Okay, but still like a top 5 Alabama in 05.
Yeah. True.
Nick Saban led Alabama in 07. In 03, I thought they were ranked too. I wasn't here yet, but 5-0. How about that, Matt Flynn?
Yeah, that is impressive.
You need to
From
you need to brag.
2002
Yeah,
to
you need to brag about that
2003,
more.
I think they had 3 head coaches that year. In the
Yeah,
12-month
I mean,
period.
it has a-
Well, one had a couple of issues.
Well, they'll use a credit card a little unwisely.
The only one that I disagree with there is the USC one. Like, Lincoln Riley still has not proven the ability to field a
The
even
most
decent
in 10
defense.
years, yeah.
Like, even a decent defense. Like, Lincoln Riley, just get a middle of the pack defense, and then we'll talk. All right, coming next, wrapping up this flustering hour. Drink my high. We'll talk about it more next.
Off the bench with Hester and T-Bob.
I want you to go to Devil. Donaldson Glass and Body, man. DonaldsonGlassandBody.com. Daniel Blunt says, what happened to the film breakdown, guys?
We're working through that. There's some
Yeah,
tape.
we have some limitations, but whatever. We'll figure it out. You know what's not limiting or hard to figure out? Where to take your vehicle if you need 24/7 towing, if you need glass repair, collision repair. It's all there for you at Donaldson Glass and Body. DGBauto.com. One of the OG sponsors here on OTB. Been with us forever, and I'm happy they are. I have jeans on in this commercial. I don't even know if I own a pair of jeans.
That's you?
Go to DonaldsonGlassandBody.com, DGBauto.com.
I'm still not convinced that was T-Bob in that commercial, but it doesn't matter if it was T-Bob or not, because whoever that person is, they're going to take care of them over at Donaldsonville Glass and Body. DGBauto.com. Truly a one-stop shop. DGBauto.com.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
Bayou Ford has $10,000 off MSRP plus 2.9% for 60 months on new 2022 Ford F-150s. All new Bayou vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty and free delivery. If you need sales or service, the crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
I'm Jay Ducote. I grew up learning how to cook at LSU tailgate parties and right in my own backyard. And I created JD's Louisiana products to bring that Louisiana flavor to you at home for your backyard cookout. JD's Louisiana barbecue sauce, Louisiana molasses mustard, spicy and sweet barbecue rub, and more are available at your local supermarkets or by logging on to jducote.com/shop. Put in promo code CST for 25% off at checkout.
Crime has serious consequences, but anyone can make a mistake. If you find yourself in trouble with the law, know that you have rights, and it's okay to demand them. The law offices of O.C. Brown are here to protect you and your rights. Felony or misdemeanor, DUI or drug charge. No matter what crime you're accused of, you still have rights. Let the law offices of O.C. Brown uphold them. Call 225-343-1111. Your law firm for a lifetime.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Want more customers? Running Boards Marketing can help you get their attention. Imagine your brand's message on a giant LED billboard truck that can't be skipped and is nearly impossible to ignore. Running Boards Marketing is the leader in effective and affordable advertising on digital mobile billboards, which are 2 times more effective than traditional billboards. With a 97% recall rate, you'll leave a lasting impression with your customers. Visit us online at runningboardsmarketing.com so we can drive your message to where the people are.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
There's nothing better than tailgating, but it can be a lot of work. So why do it yourself when you don't have to? Let Revelry Sports and Entertainment set up your luxury tailgate on campus. Order what you want and just show up to party. Book your tailgate.
Matt Moscona inviting you to join us for Wednesday's Hump Day AFR. Russ Mitchell returns. I guess 10 is the new 4. It's AFR. Join us from 3 to 6, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
What up, y'all? Welcome back to OCB. Drink My High. DrinkMyHigh.com.
Yeah, you should.
You should.
I went to bed. I had a My High before I went to bed, and I had a My High when I woke up this morning.
Did you?
Yep.
I had multiple My Highs the night of the LSU Alabama game.
Makes sense.
I felt great on Sunday.
I think if I was doing a flavor power ranking, I give them a high 0. It's tough.
Kind of switches for me.
I guess it's true. I bought like 4 lemon lime packets the other day, so I'm in a big lemon lime mood right now. But I don't know. Actually, is it blue?
0 lemon lime is pretty elite.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
It's good.
Wait, you have 0 lemon lime now?
Yeah, bro.
Had it, bro. Come on.
Yeah.
DrinkMyHigh.com.
Thanks for supporting.
Even My High?
We'll always get the same one.
I'll tell you what, you should drink My High because there was an undisclosed team with a mascot of a tiger that was way more hydrated than another team that was a mascot of an
It's actually
elephant.
key to victory.
Yes, there
right?
was.
I mean, they that undisclosed team seemed to keep their energy levels longer, deeper into the game, no cramping problem.
Yep. Got better as it went.
Did Harold Perkins cramp?
That was a fake cramp.
Oh, it was fake cramp. That was fake cramp. You're right. You're right. Because he allegedly, potentially, maybe drinks My High.
Yeah, guess what happened?
DrinkMyHigh.com.
Came back on the field, was actually faster.
Yeah, was actually faster. And what if I just inject My High? Is that like a quicker way to hydrate? Is it like an IV?
Don't answer that. Don't answer that.
Not a doctor.
Do not answer that.
I just work here.
Don't inject My High, just drink it.
Just drink it.
I do legitimately love it. Man, I had something I was going to ask you, Matt, and I forgot what it is, so I apologize. But thanks for coming in.
Hey,
today.
by the way, when we used to be on radio at night, it's popular now. Everyone's talking about it, but everyone laughed at us when we say expand the playoffs in college football.
They
did
did.
it wrong when they did 4 teams.
They did. Oh, we used to get clowned when we talked about a 12-team playoff back in the 6 to 8.
We
6 to 8.
We had we got a great structure for it and everything.
We did.
Huh.
You might not have clowned us. Other people.
T-Bob didn't listen to us.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, oh yeah.
He turned his nose up at us.
Y'all listen to me
evening
8
radio.
to midnight on WWL back in the day.
Oh,
Y'all
no.
used to love to check out 8
But
to
I did
midnight.
listen. I did listen to OTB on the way to school.
I do remember getting interviewed by you, and I was playing for the Saints.
There you go.
In the locker room.
Off the bench with Hester and T-Bob.
God,
You look so miserable.
Having to work the locker room. I mean, I hate. And I was too fresh off of playing, so I just felt like the enemy. Felt like you're kind of like invading. I hated it. I loathed it. I'm very glad I don't have to do that anymore. Go to RejuveMeMedical.com. Restore me, refuel me, rejuve me medical.com. speaking of potential injections that are actually going to be beneficial and helpful, maybe you check out HRT. Maybe you ask about metabolism optimization. Okay, you're going to love the way that it can help you and your body and your energy levels and all of these things. And look, man, it's fun, right? This should be fun. Just talking about feeling younger, better. Go check out the Rejuve Medical YouTube channel. If you got any questions, RejuveMedical.com.
Yeah, look, quick and easy. I mean, conditions that they can treat, that list is long and distinguished. We tell you every day, RejuveMedical.com. Like, go in, check it out, feel better. They'll help you feel better. 225-230-4201.
At Corvette Toyota in Opelousas, we're happy to say we have vehicles in stock and more coming in at no markup. Don't pay over MSRP. Come on down to Corvette Toyota and pick out your new Toyota today. That's Corvette Toyota in Opelousas, Happy Town, USA.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
We get it done with strength, commitment, dedication, grit.
We get it done with passion for our fans
and love for our community.
We are the Tigers.
Get it done.
Let the values of the purple and gold be in your starting lineup this season. And as always, get it done.
Oh, hey, what's up? It's Big D and Bubba, 100.7 The Tiger Morning Show. We'd love for you to join us every weekday, 4 a.m. till 9 a.m.
Yeah, everything you want in a show. Country music. We got laughs. We got celebrity in-studio guests. We just need you.
Join us every weekday morning, 4 a.m. to 9 a.m., right where it all started.
That's right. Louisiana's country station, 100.7 The Tiger.
Service Master Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact Service Master Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. Service Master Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
All right, let's say ah.
Where'd my spotlight go?
Super weird, but we can take care of it.
Get in and get better at Patient Plus.
Good morning. It's 9 a.m. on Wednesday, November 9th. Your government taco forecast in Baton Rouge expects sunny skies with a high of 82. Coming up on OTBOT, we continue to look ahead to LSU versus Arkansas, and we take your questions in Ask the Bench. You can follow today's show on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at OTB_ESPN, or catch us on YouTube at the 1045 ESPN channel. OTBOT, live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studio, starts now.
Let we go!
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Hey, Peter said I got to come off the bench.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Yo, yo, yo.
Welcome back, OTB, hour number 3, talking to Brody Miller.
Oh, nice.
Coming up next, excited about that. Again, like I said, he had an excellent piece in The Athletic breaking down LSU's recruiting and just how good it's been. Then you got the Toviano. Is Toviano? I don't know, recruiting. But the video of him rushing the field is pretty cool. Obviously, they've been getting some alignment, whatever. The LSU message is hitting right now, and the brand is hot. Good time. Pelicans back in action tonight, Mario. How are we feeling about it? 5-5, so they accomplished the original goal that we had for them. I would love them to get to 6-5 here because they've lost 2 in a row now.
3 out of 4.
Okay,
Yeah,
2 in a row, 3 out of 4. So a little bit of a slide here. And they're going against the 6-6 Bulls. They're in Chicago. I feel like, is Zach LaVine still balling for Chicago?
Yeah, Zach LaVine, DeRozan.
Yeah, I feel like, I don't know why I feel like I have bad memories of Chicago, but I feel like they just, LaVine has just torn you up here recently.
Last year, they dominated us. Or that might have been.
That's what it was.
Might have been 2 years ago. Corey White had like a 40-point game out of nowhere.
Yes, I was very annoyed.
The Bulls are an interesting team. They have a lot of talent, and sometimes that talent shows up. Sometimes it disappears. I mean, look, inconsistent team. I guess it's not that unique, but it is unique in the fact that they have players that you feel like can take over a game, but they can't make it work for like 5 straight games. I don't know how they can't get it done.
So that's going tonight at 7 p.m. Looking forward to that. If you want to come watch the game and coming out with us, me and Matt will be doing Schooner Tea from Oliver Twist at 7. Probably stick around a little bit after the game, drink some beers, and we'll see if the Pellies can get it going. And then, as always, you should listen to Off Campus at Sirius XM 84 2-5 and listen to Snaps 1 to 2 on the Volume Sports YouTube channel. Actually, I don't even care if you do it live. Just subscribe to the Snaps
At any point
pod.
in the day, just go ahead and subscribe.
Well, yeah, just
and
subscribe
watch.
to the Snaps pod and
Yes.
and share it. You don't even have to watch on YouTube. That's fine.
Can we get the Pelicans a home game?
Yeah, they're about to have a big stretch of home games
I
here.
mean, this will be their 8th road game in the first 11.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh wow. Okay, so the 5-5 is even better then.
Yeah.
In context then.
Yeah, and you're about to get a 6-game all homestand here after this little stretch.
Let's go, dude.
Y'all, I look, I know we're all incredibly busy during this time of year. We have to have a Team OTB outing in the Smoothie Kings.
I'm down. Y'all let me know the game. Set it up.
Yeah, for sure. But boys, that's gonna actually. You want to get it in before the year ends?
I'm just saying there's 6 straight games at home.
That's true.
I know.
That freight train's coming down the tracks.
It is.
I got a freight train named a newborn baby that is the light is getting bigger and bigger and
So are you
it ain't
saying
stopping.
Are you saying we need to go before that?
I'm saying I'm
Or
saying
no?
no. I'm
You're saying, like, way after
like
once
a
you get
February or
set-
like a March or
oh.
something.
Mm.
No. I guess what I'm saying is if we don't go before, then we're looking at February, March. So ideally, we need to find sometime the next couple of weeks and see if we can make this happen.
What about listen, Friday, April the 7th against the Knicks?
Yeah, there you go. Perfect.
There we go.
Perfect.
Yeah.
The Knicks game, even better, right?
There we go.
We'll have a Nick apostate, somebody who used to
Yep.
love the Knicks. He rightfully gave them up for the Bad News Murder Birds last year.
The screen video of Hester unfollowing the Knicks and following the Pelicans
Yeah,
was
it's
a
great.
triumphant moment.
It is great. Is everybody healthy tonight, Mario?
Yes. Larry Nance is questionable. He had a scary injury. He said he thought he tore his ACL at first, but it was just a hyperextension of his knee. He's questionable. Long term, he should be good.
All right, that's good.
Bulls are totally healthy too, besides Lonzo Ball, who's still not playing.
Damn. I mean, I'm not going to lord it over Lonzo. Lonzo didn't do anything. Not in the way that AD did, where I tend to celebrate his softness. Lonzo just feels like he's kind of his body's kind of betrayed him a little bit.
For sure, but I think it's okay to maybe praise the Pelicans a little bit for walking away from an extension.
No. Sure. Yeah, absolutely.
They were clowned for that after they let Lonzo Ball go.
Yeah, and he was really good early on. But now it's unfortunately kind of fallen apart. So excited to see the Pelicans back in action tonight. Jake, what football are you watching? I'm sure. I mean, again, of course, y'all should download the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Promo code Baton Rouge, DraftKings Sportsbook app. Jake Jake is a gambling master. I just have no other way of putting it. Like, it doesn't matter the sport. He got another massive. Well, no, maybe ironically, like just betting spreads in football is the only thing you're human at, because your parlay plays in all these other sports are unbelievable. Yesterday, it was like a few mid-major teams. There was a lot of action in there. There was even an instant bet. Will the next basket in this basketball game be a 2 or a 3?
Georgetown.
Like what? It is absurd what you have been able to do. And you can do that too, though.
Mm-hmm.
You probably won't. You'll probably lose like I do, but it's still fun. But you could do that too if you download the DraftKings Sportsbook.
Well, real quick before you hit it, Mario, I'll tell you this. Like, when you have action, when you have Fun Belt, you have to look at these lines, because you have to remember it's Tuesday, it's Wednesday. And yes, the action and the Fun Belt play on those days a lot late in the year, but it's still like that's a game that's difficult for both teams. It's in the middle of the week. And so if you see like a double-digit spread, like a lot of times you go with the dog there, and that's going to hit. Like, look at Kent State, Bowling Green. Like, Bowling Green's 4-1 in the MAC. Kent State's 2-3 in the MAC. It's at Bowling Green, and Kent State's a 2.5-point favorite. So some of these lines you just take a look at, and not to say that Vegas doesn't spend a lot of time on these lines, but you can find.
Well, they're definitely softer lines than you're going to find in your major.
It's just like mid-major basketball. Yeah. Like, you're going to find softer lines there than you're going to find Duke, Carolina.
Or it's like over-unders in football, which is still a relatively sharp market.
Yeah,
but
if you get a high over on a Tuesday, Wednesday, it's not a bad play either.
But like now, generally, I feel like unders tend to be the sharper play than overs, right? Almost every single time.
Mm-hmm.
Even though they're way less fun to cheer for, obviously. But
unless, dude, Missouri and Kentucky are the amount of times they've hit the under every time
they
except
almost got
once.
there this last game too,
but they didn't, and I won again.
I know,
like, it's just
I know.
They're playing each other. Missouri in the under. Blake Baker, shout out.
Shout out indeed. This kind of interesting stat that just popped up from PFF College 1 minute ago. Leaders in QB pressures this season. Tyree Wilson from Texas Tech actually leads the country with 47. Will Anderson number 2 with 44, but B.J. Ojolari checking in at number 4 with 39 pressures.
He had 9 against Alabama.
Yeah, pretty fantastic.
He's getting after it, man. That's a football player, by the way, T. Like, that position, edge rusher, it can be a little bit like receiver at times. Like, the mentality that you have at that position.
Yeah, for sure.
But when you have a guy like BJ who only wants the best for his team, and I'm biased, but there's a reason he's wearing number 18. Like, he doesn't care. Like, if it's a twist and he has to be a part of the twist that frees up the other guy, he's going to go at an 11 to free up his guy. Like, the way that guy plays football at that position with his skill set, NFL teams are going to fall in love with that guy. He's going to be a great player for a long time.
You saw both this last game from BJ, where he was the spiller and the guy that it was being spilled to at different times. And like Matt just kind of laid out for you, which pretty incredible how Flynn can break down football after watching live from the stands, which is so hard to do when you've been drinking. But, I mean, whatever, NFL quarterback minds just operate on a different plane.
He was hydrated watching it in the stands and was noticing safety rotations. I'm like, man, what?
I don't understand how he picked that up.
Like, so after I leave here on Wednesdays, we go do Hey Fighting podcast, and it's one of the treats of the week for me because, like T-Bob said, like, I know a lot of football. It's one of the few things that I actually know a lot about. And I know coverages and fronts and blitzes and all that. But when Matt gets behind the clicker, it's like a different level.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of fun for me to see him in his element. And he's such a slappy. We love him. When he's not being a slappy watching football.
So you should check out the Hey Fighting podcast with Matt and Jake later today, because they will do a film breakdown, and it's always great to see. When we get back, let's talk to our guy, Brody Miller from The Athletic, at Brody A. Miller on Twitter. Does awesome work covering LSU for The Athletic. Talk to Brody next here on Off the Bench.
OTB, OT.
Go to Riverlands Insurance, riverlandsinsurance.com. But really, you want to call up our guy, Thomas, email. Jake's going to give you the number. Call up Thomas and Megan email as well today and see what they can save you, right? And it's what they can save you because you don't really lift a finger. Like, they do all the work. You just give them a couple of pieces of information, and then they shop around and they find you the best policy for your situation. I don't care if you're talking about home insurance, auto insurance, business insurance, Jake, renter's insurance. The fascinating thing about the home insurance part of this is it's rolled into your mortgage a lot of times. And so, like, you probably don't even have really any great idea of how your policy could be if you're just throwing money away. Let Thomas do that legwork for you. Call him up today.
Yeah, that number is 225-206-1517. We tell you every day because it's important you hear this. That is not only in Baton Rouge. If you're listening in North Louisiana, Alexandria, New Orleans, Baton Rouge, wherever, we're talking to you. Again, 225-206-1517.
Professional golfers John Peterson and JJ Colleen answer all your golf and life questions inside the new Drop Biscuit Studios podcast for the people. Download or subscribe today at dropbiscuit.com.
Before we begin any electrical work here, we perform a home safety check that begins at your electrical panel to make sure that you and your family are safe. For all your upgrades, installations, and repairs, call Mr. Electric.
It's no secret. The best oysters in Baton Rouge are at Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar. Enjoy mouth-watering South Louisiana flavor and oysters from all over the country. And don't forget our nightly drink specials. Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar, located in downtown Baton Rouge.
Eli's always been into grilling. It took us a while to see it, but the signs were there.
What are you doing, Eli?
I knew grilling was my thing. I have been talking about it throughout my career.
Happy with the results?
I am. Got the new grill from barbecueguys.com. It performed great.
My advice, as I always told my boys,
do more of what you're born to do.
Barbecue Guys, for those who were born to grill.
You want cheese on your burger, Pops?
I'll take a little cheese.
I'm Jay Ducote. I grew up learning how to cook at LSU tailgate parties and right in my own backyard. And I created JD's Louisiana products to bring that Louisiana flavor to you at home for your backyard cookout. JD's Louisiana barbecue sauce, Louisiana molasses mustard, spicy and sweet barbecue rub, and more are available at your local supermarkets or by logging on to jducote.com/shop. Put in promo code CST for 25% off at checkout.
Crime has serious consequences, but anyone can make a mistake. If you find yourself in trouble with the law, know that you have rights, and it's okay to demand them. The law offices of O.C. Brown are here to protect you and your rights. Felony or misdemeanor, DUI or drug charge. No matter what crime you're accused of, you still have rights. Let the law offices of O.C. Brown uphold them. Call 225-343-1111. Your law firm for a lifetime.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the need.
Me, Jimmy Ott, for Game Time, live from Snow's Seafood and Steak, Airline Highway at Highway 74 in Gonzales. 6 to 8 p.m. Wednesday, got a bunch of guests giving out picks. Game Time on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
TV OT with Hester and T-Bob on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge and 94.7 ESPN Alexandria.
I think one of my favorite parts of Tears for Fears is the way that the lead singer enunciates.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? It's like very satisfying. He opens his mouth so wide. Maybe I should do it
He
more.
does, and it's really, really intriguing.
It's very satisfying.
Yeah, satisfying.
Brody Miller of The Athletic. Brody, what's up, dude?
The Human Torch was denied a bank loan.
Wow.
Ow now,
Okay,
brown
dude.
cow. Big
Nice
fan of
job.
over pronunciation. Here for it.
Brody, you had you always do excellent work, obviously, covering LSU. But you had a really good article on recruiting that I think is going to kind of be the end here, and then we'll work to more of the game itself.
Wait, I was going to start Indiana, Ohio State with Brody.
Yeah, exactly. Hey,
we need the Hoosiers to take down the Buckeyes, Brody.
hey,
They are in utter free fall. I apologize. I don't think you're getting much help.
they beat Illinois, dude. What are you talking about?
They did.
Great dub for the Hoosiers.
They did.
Well, at least the Sixers are doing good, right? Are they? They're actually probably
Nope,
terrible.
5 and 6.
Nope, 5 and 6.
Harden's out for a month. Yep.
They're probably terrible now, actually, as well. All right, Brody. On the recruiting front, you wrote about it. It seems like LSU is doing very well, right? They now have another top quarterback lined up. They've got another top couple offensive tackles, positions they have traditionally struggled at. Let me ask you this way. We always got to be wary about what one game can do to a class or to a recruiting cycle. But do you think that Saturday's game, is there an impact to be had there? And look, don't worry about dog barking. I don't give a damn.
Bro,
It's
this
all
is
good.
OTB.
Bro, just chill. It's all
We
good.
love it.
Don't sweat that.
Yeah, no, the Bulldog opened the door, actually, and I don't know how she did it, so
Hey,
less barking.
Okay.
Nice.
Getting ready for that SEC championship. Anyway, how much do you think that Saturday's game, is there an impact there, even though recruiting guys constantly tell us that you got to be wary of thinking there is?
I don't think it's that changed anything, but I think it's fair to say it might be the tip the scale moment for guys. I think that's kind of fair. Where I think you can even point to the fact that they got DJ Chester in the days before the game, and they got Colin Hurley in the days before the game. That this momentum was heading anyway, and I'm sure that momentum wasn't even just because they were 6-2. I think a lot of that's the recruiting, a lot of that's just like we've talked about so many times before, it takes time to develop relationships and they're getting there. But yeah, I think it's totally fair to say that those scales might tip a little bit when you win a game like that. For the video of JV and Taviano, I think is the best example of top 50 guy in the stands, just getting nervous and sprinting down. LSU was in good shape with him anyway. You can't pretend that doesn't do a little more. I mean, Jacob would know better. We could ask him. Both of you. I just insulted T-Bob that he wasn't recruited.
It's all good.
Yeah,
I literally just had a moment where I forgot T-Bob was a football player.
In all honesty, though, I was never going anywhere but LSU. So your point does kind of stand. But continue.
Hey, Danny, clip that up, put it out there later. Thank you, Brody. Okay.
Wow, what a moment! At least it wasn't the inverse, because I would have never recovered from that.
No, actually, T-Bob was more highly recruited by far than I was. He was a 5-star. I was a 2-star. So
a 5-star, but I wasn't
fair.
Yeah.
But no, I would defer to you guys, and I agree with the principle that I don't think the game's changing anything. I don't think a loss ever drastically changes things, but you can't pretend that experience does nothing.
What about Brody and? Well, we can circle maybe back around to recruiting later, but you had a tweet yesterday that kind of blew my mind where you were talking about some offensive line analytics. And this is an O-line that, quite frankly, I have been amazed by. Not just because they started in such a low moment after Florida State, right? But they've really they've tinkered. They played so many different guys. They played all these young guys. When you dove into some of the advanced numbers, just how good has this LSU offensive line been this year?
Yeah, I think it's jarring, right? And it's not perfect because when you look at it, right, there's plenty of red on the sheet I'm looking at, right? Their sack rate's still kind of high, their penalties, there's so many things the explosiveness still isn't there. There's so much stuff where you're hey, you want more out of this O-line, but it's the concept that they are number one in stuff rate, which is really pretty much wow, she's really barking right now. I'm so sorry.
I mean, she knows LSU's coming.
It's all good.
They're Bulldogs.
Bulldogs
are stubborn creatures, man.
Yeah.
it's a stuff rate, which is pretty much how often do you get kind of blown up at the line of scrimmage. They don't get blown up almost ever. Opportunity rate and kind of power success rate. Wow, this is rough. Like they're kind of dominating in those metrics, which are telling you when you need yards, they get yards. And I think that is so indicative of an offensive line improving. And also pressure rate. Like they're giving up sacks, but they're 5th nationally in pressure rate allowed, which is wild because you don't always see that. But I think, the Jaden Daniels thing might hurt the sacks because he's running around, but they're not allowing that much pressure. And so much of it is having Will Campbell and Emory Jones become these tentpole star offensive tackles. That opens everything up. Those guys are so much better than you ever could have expected. And that simplifies things probably. That does allow, those interior guys to probably have more freedom. I defer to you, T-Bob, but you have to give so much credit to Brian Kelly, to Mike Denbrock, to Brad Davis. And the scheme's part of that too, right? They're scheming better, and they're getting those guys in better positions.
No, I mean, you had a great tweet where you just highlighted a Golick tweet. It's something that we've talked about as well, where they are, Mike Denbrock is doing a great job of stressing the field in every single area, right? And it's all built off of a lot of this concept where like Mason Taylor looks like he's blocking backside on a zone, and then he goes on a route, and Jaden Daniels push it, whatever. Real quick on the stuff rate thing. They're number 1 in the country, right? Like in stuff rate?
Yes.
So like there's not how crazy is that, Jake? There is not a better team in the country right now at not getting stuff to the line when running the ball than LSU. That is absurd for a line with 2 true freshman tackles. I mean, do they even have a senior? No, right? Everybody's a junior or lower, correct, Brody?
Charles Turner is a 4th-year guy.
But he still has years of eligibility left due to COVID and everything else. How are you doing over there, man?
Brody, you okay, man?
You're in the pocket right now.
I'm doing
got some
great.
Pressure.
Claire just ran over and closed the door and apologized. This is our life. It's okay.
I've been there. Trust me.
Yeah,
I was on with Jake the other day.
I don't feel bad. I don't care.
I got to play that audio.
We should play that audio. I was on Jake the other day, and my daughter was just screaming bloody murder into the microphone as I'm trying to answer a question about like Jaden Daniels' growth from game to game. All right,
my
Jake,
favorite was the old podcast days where like you could hear at the end of the pod T-Bob just like crumbling inside. He's like, I gotta go, man. I gotta get out of here.
That was in the newborn phase for sure.
Oh, without question. Hey, going back to the offensive line, we talked about it last week. Like if Dellinger was ready to play, do you insert him back into the lineup because he's a good player? He's graded out high, and obviously he's had his injuries, but you're going so well. I don't know if you mess with that chemistry of what you already have, Brody, because, yes, he's a good player, but the 5 that have been out there the last couple of games, it feels like they're all coming together at the right time.
First off, I think you're absolutely right about that. But also you look at Brian Kelly, I think we have, 9 games of data points now that he is very long-term thinking and how he kind of approaches like bringing back an injured player, where you notice like he never just throws them in. Like John Emery comes in, ease him in like 10, 15 touches, or a corner comes back in. Okay, you rotate him, but he's not full-time in there. It's almost like a soccer manager managing like, all right, let's get him 30 minutes on the back end when he's coming off an injury. Like very well thought out about kind of easing into it, because that both helps the player ease in and it helps the team. I would imagine, to your exact point about the O-line, a whole new lineman jumping in after 3 weeks, probably a big challenge. Rotating him in, it's more of an easy transition and it works better. So I feel like that's been a really interesting thing that I probably need to write about eventually, of like how he handles stuff like that.
Talking to Brody Miller here. Brody, as far as the Alabama games go, what was your biggest takeaways? I did not actually get to read your post game wrap up yet. What stood out to you the most?
That's a good question. I think so much of what jumped out to me was there's so many things, because that's like one of those games where like there's 30 different angles to it of okay, the defense for 3 quarters it blew my mind, quite frankly. Like that pass rush made life brutal for Alabama. It just got after them, and you're just like, wait, this defense is better than I imagined. Now they've really gotten things down with Perkins and Ojulari and all that. And then as the game went on, it's like Jaden Daniels, we are now fair enough to say, is just that good.
It's crazy.
This was always going to be like, were those 2 games real? And it's like, no, he keeps thriving under pressure. It's bizarre. Even games where he's playing badly, he will then in the 4th quarter make like 3 straight 3rd down conversions. It's wild. And especially in a game where so much of it's RPOs and it's on him to kind of control everything, he handles this pressure so well. And then the last thing is probably just like how much of the core of this team is freshmen. It's like the tackles we talked about. Perkins is, God, I mean, we're reaching the point. He's one of the best players in football, period, let alone a freshman.
Bro,
Mason Taylor, it's like the stars of this, not the stars, but the foundation is youth. And it's like, and these guys are stepping up in the biggest game of their lives. It's jarring.
Well, and one thing, Brody, that I found interesting from the recruiting piece that you did is that Brian Kelly was very upfront about, well, let's be clear, like, we will still take transfers if we need them in areas, but we want last year to be the exception. Like, we want to have a program that is built on freshmen. And I think in a vacuum, that quote's kind of whatever, but in the context of 2 freshman starting tackles, a starting tight end, maybe, like one of your key defensive pieces, like, it does hit a little more and carries a little more weight when already you're seeing just what that could mean in terms of their ability to develop freshmen and get them ready to play immediately. Not they're going to play freshmen all the time, but the point is, like, they can take talented players and find ways to employ them in successful ways.
No, I think that's fair. And I think Perkins is probably the best example, right? Of like, they have been very savvy about, okay, we're asking you to do 2 or 3 things because you're young. Right. I don't know how many freshmen could play inside linebacker right away or whatever. Yeah. So it's like, give him his role, let him be a freak, and then he'll grow over time. And I think that's a great example of being like, they know how to. It's even the thing we're talking about with injuries. Like, they're very savvy about how to implement things slowly and correctly. And yeah, they will use the portal, but the portal will be used forever, right? Yeah. But it's more, they are at least now probably at a point of not desperation looking at the portal. It's being like, hey, just keep using soccer analogies. Like, hey, you can go sign a $60 million star right now, but you don't have to go chase every position anymore. And that's huge because now it's like, I don't know. Now you can start building that infrastructure correctly. You can have it where you have, 2 or 3 guys at a spot, but you realize, hey, D tackle could be better. Let's go get this guy, or hey, let's go get a better receiver. That's the best place to be. That's where Bama's at right now, where it's like, we can get Jahmyr Gibbs. Why not? And I think that's a really good spot.
So is the actual best place to be, though, where Georgia is, where they can take no one? Because they're like, oh, actually, we're the best
Touche.
team. We're just going to, like,
that is the best place to be.
I think they were the only team in the Power 5 that did not take a player out of the portal. So they're in rarefied
air. Did they not take any?
They didn't take one, Brody.
Not one player.
While losing all those players, I'm sorry, just tip of the cap to Kirby, man.
God, that is some big balls flopping out on the table move right there.
Did not take a single player. Now, he told me, he's like, yeah, look, we were in on some, like Caleb Williams. He's like, we're in on Caleb Williams. We were on like 3 to 5. But he's like, at the end of the day, it didn't make sense. We didn't take any. So I'm like, yeah, credit to you and your recruiting there. But even LSU's plan, though, like, it's not, hey, we're just going to take all these players from the portal. Like, you've heard them talk about, look, we have a plan. If you're from Louisiana originally, like, we want you to come back here because we know there's a passion to play for LSU. You get Mekhi Wingo, who had a relationship with one of your assistant coaches. So, like, even in LSU, they're not going, like, portal chasing per se. They're going, like, with a reason, with a purpose, and guys that they feel like make sense for LSU and that want to play for LSU.
No, and that brings up another really good point, which is I think the thing that even during the winter I was giving them so much credit for was they were thinking even long-term about portal usage in terms of, yes, they were patching holes and kind of doing quick fixes, yes, but they were very thought out about, like, hey, we're not just going to bring this better tight end's the best example. There were so many tight ends that were, like, talented, but they had some red flags or, like, might not be the best locker room guy. All right, it's better not to bring someone than to bring someone that might mess this 10-year rebuild. Or, hey, let's bring in they brought in 2 sophomore linebackers that aren't seeing the field a ton right now, but they knew they had to get their linebacker numbers right. You know, and it's like, it wasn't just patching holes, it was thinking long-term. Or I know so many of these guys were like, I don't know if this guy's going to be a star, but character-wise, I want Tremont Shorts in that locker room, stuff like that. And I think that was very savvy with what they did it, and that gives you evidence that, one, there's just an intentionality with everything Brian Kelly and the staff are doing that it's, like, kind of refreshing, I guess, just as a person who covers football, than that, they're probably going to really think things through and be like, all right, here's the right way to, go for this guy or not go for that guy. Because it's the guys you don't take as much as the guys you do.
Right.
You know what they call that, Brody?
Tell me.
A process. He has a process, and it is a proven one.
I'm a Sixers fan, and I've still never said the word process more in my life. Like, I start prefacing questions to Josh Williams with, I know you're going to roll your eyes again, but about the process.
Yes, absolutely. Hey,
Josh Williams, man.
Yeah, I mean, we could talk about him all day. Brody, we were talking earlier, like, the national media, I found out, like, how much they maybe didn't like Brian Kelly or how much they like to clown him after the Florida State game. That's all my Twitter feed was from people who cover this game nationally. And then, like, now you're starting to see it completely flip. They're like, oh, man, Brian Kelly and how good of a coach he is with LSU and LSU talent and in-state talent, and this could be a problem for a lot of people. So it's completely changed the narrative from what we heard the first game to what people think LSU can be. Not even what they're way ahead of schedule, let's be honest, but what they can be next year and the next, 8 years.
Yeah, I think there's a few reasons for that. One, I think there's an element of he's kind of showing a different side. I think I listened to Stu Mandel's podcast with Bruce yesterday, and he was saying, like, I've never seen Brian Kelly get like emotional after a game and like get choked up, like those are different things. Or even though everyone's making fun of him for his jokes, I also think he's being jokey and like having more fun with stuff and making fun of himself
He didn't lose his mind on the fumble call. I would have lost my mind. We've seen him, get heated before. Like, his eyes told a story, but he kept his calm, he kept his composure, and didn't, ruin it with the referees for the rest of the game.
Was that Brody's tweet?
I know, it's
on
true.
The eyes?
I think it was.
Was that your tweet?
Was that your tweet?
You're talking about like the death in his eyes or something?
Oh my God. It was like a patient listening face, but at the same time, behind his eyes was just like thinking about every way he's ever thought about murdering somebody and just like thinking about every person he's ever lost, just sadness.
It was
so wild.
Oh, it was so good.
But I think the other wrinkle in kind of the turnaround with perception is he has answered questions that we expected to be answered 3 years in really quickly in terms of like, hey, I wonder what he'd do if he had this kind of talent. Well, shoot, they're 7-2 this year. You actually can do this. And the other element is, man, I wonder how we'll do recruiting in Louisiana. Fair question. Yeah. They have the number 4 class, and that class might become like 2 or 3. Like, so I think a lot of it is, he's actually answering them so much sooner than you'd expect.
Brody, last one here before we let you go.
Make it good.
How you feel about? Oh God, it's not good. It's very chalky.
World Cup roster. That's where you're going?
Oh yeah. What do you think? I mean, if you want to, Brody, can you break down a little World Cup?
Can you break it down for us? It's getting released today.
Wait, what do you want? What's the question?
I don't know,
keepers.
James.
There's a little rumor maybe that Stefan's not included in the 3. How about that?
I mean, that's not a bad idea. Stefan has not been a very good goalkeeper for kind of a while now. Yeah. It's like it's this thing where like a guy gets on a city and you're like, this guy's the next star, and it's like eventually he's just not. While like so many of these other guys like Turner, and I'm blanking on the one who did so well last summer, but I think they're pretty well stocked at keeper. Like, they don't need to force it. Like, he's just a name, but names, I think Sergino Dest is also like a little overrated because he plays at big clubs. Like, we fall in love with the guys who are like, we want to be our next superstar, but there's other guys who are kind of better.
Yeah, give me Anthony Robinson over that. I'm with you.
Anthony Robinson is so good.
He's so good.
Who gets fired first, Jimbo or Berhalter?
Berhalter by default, because I don't think Jimbo's getting fired this year, and if Berhalter doesn't do well, he will be fired immediately.
Should Jimbo leave and go coach at West Virginia?
No, absolutely not. Why would he?
Why not, dude?
He's from West Virginia.
He's from West Virginia, dude. Go home.
But like the money he is being paid, and like the access to talent, maybe it's just like, man, I just want to go be happy.
Yeah,
that's
just like, that's what I'm saying. You gotta be tired.
I don't think Jimbo's built like that. You guys would know better, but I don't think so.
No, he's not.
I think
Jimbo's not.
He wants to prove everyone wrong so bad.
Should Nick Saban leave and go home to West Virginia?
Well, that's the story we need to be talking about. Yeah,
exactly.
Like, I think he needs to go home. And really build back a Big 12 power.
And then last one.
Big 12 just still sounds weird.
What's your take on all the Arkansas 11 a.m. kickoff, the 3-point spread, the cold weather? Seems like a lot of people, and I think it's a fear born of wanting something so badly, but it seems like a lot of people are a little fearful approaching this game.
Well, you should be fearful because, it is an 11 a.m. game in the definition of a trap spot, and Arkansas is a better team than people realize. Like, they're not good, but they're 5-4, so people are like, oh, they're bad, and it's like, no, they're like like the 32nd best team, like something in that realm. Like, they're tough, and an 11 a.m. game against that KJ Jefferson run game is a scary combo in the cold, man. Like, that's a weird. Like, I don't think Arkansas is great. That defense, LSU should throttle that defense. Yes. I think all things considered. Yeah. But, like, that is a scary matchup because KJ Jefferson is tough to bring down. That O-line is good. Like, there's a lot of things that just make you think that's kind of scary, just spot and all that combined. Mm-hmm. But, yeah, LSU should win. I would advise people not to bet that -3, though.
Oh, really, Brody?
Just because that's that's every single recipe
it's a stinky
for
line. It's a stinky
you bet
line,
the other way.
Sure.
Yeah, you just don't touch that.
Huh. Okay, there you go. Brody Miller.
You already bet it, didn't you?
Brody A. No. I have not yet.
T-Bob's going to come here on Friday.
10K.
That's my 4th largest bet of all time on LSU.
No, but remember, we broke that streak because Aaron Murray peer pressured me into placing the Ole Miss bet.
I know.
And I didn't want to.
But you keep up with your bets because you're not a bettor. And you're like, that's my 4th largest bet of all time.
Not a gambler. What are you talking about? I'm over 500 on the year, dude. We're golden.
Well,
dude.
on LSU, you're not. Should have.
Not an LSU.
I don't touch LSU.
I'm over 500, but I'm under money because, yes, I made some big calls that went terribly wrong. The latest of which was Clemson last week.
Don't mess up your bet amount, man. Stay consistent. That's rule number one.
I know. It's like a poker thing. Like always hit on 16, but I don't know. Sometimes you just get excited.
I stay on 16.
But no, to be completely honest, yes, I am going to take LSU to cover 3.
Fair.
Just nut up and do it. Brody Miller at Brody A. Miller on Twitter. Writes for The Athletic, does an excellent job. Brody, thank you so much.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Brody.
And I'm going to do a big bet on LSU as well because I ain't scared like you or Brody.
Or
Mario.
I don't bet on LSU because I feel like I'm too affiliated with LSU. It's not scared. I just ethics.
Okay. Who are you? Why now you're Mario?
No, like I do too much for the school. I feel like to be able to bet on the school, and I just think it's not something I should do.
Danny, you want to
any sport actually? I don't bet on any men's hoops, women's hoops, baseball, football. Dude, your thighs are way too wide. Have they ever met the sun?
Whatever happened to people appreciating a good creamy thigh? It used to be a thing. People loved it.
I mean, your thigh has never dapped up the sun.
Like you're calling me pale, you should be calling me porcelain. I'm a porcelain prince.
I mean, your dad's like very tan. Your sisters are very tan. Like, what happened to you? I hadn't seen Bo in a while. I don't know. He lives in the Midwest now. He might not be tan.
They're Cajun. I don't know. They did not grow up with the nickname White Roach.
But you did.
I know.
And you're not adopted because you look just like the rest of your siblings.
No, I mean, I think I got my mom's skin. You know, that North Louisiana Manny skin. What are you going to do, dude?
Okay. Danny would know more about her skin complexion than I, apparently, but.
Don't like that at all. All right, let's go to break. And when we get back, more OTB.
OTB. OT.
Go to allstartoyotabatonrouge.com, allstartoyotabatonrouge.com. If you can see past my creamy thighs, you can see the All-Star logo right behind me. Good luck. But I love, the only thing I love more than showing off these thighs in Hot Boy shorts are getting a car from All-Star Toyota of Baton Rouge. Love the minivan. Hell, I loved the Camry. Unfortunately, with a third kid on the way, I've just outgrown it, right? So right now, I'm in the process of exploring these new deals. Toyotathon is going on, which is great. Time to buy a car is now. Go in and see them off of Airline Highway, or go to allstartoyotabatonrouge.com, the website, and that's a great resource to kind of start to explore the deals that are available for you.
The chat's popping off right now on your thighs. Go to allstartoyotabatonrouge.com. If you want to drive up to Fayetteville this weekend, you still have time. Per day rental prices, great per day rental prices. allstartoyotabatonrouge.com.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the jimsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the jimsfirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
At Auctioner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Auctioner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one. You. Auctioner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
Want more customers? Running Boards Marketing can help you get their attention. Imagine your brand's message on a giant LED billboard truck that can't be skipped and is nearly impossible to ignore. Running Boards Marketing is the leader in effective and affordable advertising on digital mobile billboards, which are 2 times more effective than traditional billboards. With a 97% recall rate, you'll leave a lasting impression with your customers. Visit us online at runningboardsmarketing.com so we can drive your message to where the people are.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Oh, hey, what's up? It's Big D and Bubba, 100.7 The Tiger Morning Show. We'd love for you to join us every weekday, 4 a.m. till 9 a.m.
Yeah, everything you want in a show. Country music. We got laughs. We got celebrity in-studio guests. We just need you.
Join us every weekday morning, 4 a.m. to 9 a.m., right where it all started.
That's right. Louisiana's country station, 100.7 The Tiger.
Service
Matt Moscona inviting you to join us for Wednesday's Hump Day AFR. Russ Mitchell returns. I guess 10 is the new 4. It's AFR. Join us from 3 to 6, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
OTB OT with Hester and T-Bob on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge and 94.7 ESPN Alexandria.
Hey, that's hard.
Oh, yeah, but also
Hey, see you, Chuck.
just talking to Chuggy
See you,
Pierce,
man.
host of the
Thanks for coming in, man.
We Have Spoken podcast, which if you like nerdy stuff, Chuck is one of those like old school, like 70s nerds that can answer any question that you have about almost anything nerdy. But man, I'll be damned if I'm not very upset with him for not liking Rings of Power. I mean, he's the only mega nerd that I don't know that doesn't love it. Like generally the people I expected not to like Rings of Power are going to be people more kind of like, you know, who maybe aren't into traditionally nerdy stuff because it's very like mythological, high fantasy. The dialogue's a little like, a little highfalutin at times. And, you know, it's not like House of the Dragon, which I think has massive mass appeal and is very easy to understand and like get behind and everything.
Which compared to the first original OG Game of Thrones, like you had to go back to so many houses and you had to make sure that you were on top of it. This is just one house. They could do this like, I don't know if it gets stale, but if they did it like they did this for 4 houses, I'd watch every single one of them.
Well, they're doing this, so I don't know if they've done. I think Martin's written some histories of other houses. I'd have to double check on that. I'm pretty sure there is. Maybe not full books. I think there's a collection. Chuck, you might want to double check that. I'm almost positive there's some sort of Stark history floating out there.
Well, he can, if he hasn't, he can.
But you might want to double check that.
Not too late.
Okay?
Oh, okay.
And again, if you want Chuck's awful opinions on Rings of Power, he has very good opinions everywhere else. You can listen to the We Have Spoken podcast, but please send him angry emails and tweets if he's talking bad about Rings of Power, because it's awesome. And I was rewatching an episode last night while painting my miniatures. First time in a couple weeks I got to sit down and paint boys.
The Alabama victory, rewatch.
It felt so good,
miniatures
dude.
being
It felt
painted.
so good. The metal is done. We are on to cloth. Let's go,
Well, you better
dude.
cloth the heck up because you're about to have a baby coming and you're not going to be able to paint anything.
That's fair. Yeah, I guess you're not wrong.
No. I know your wife.
Yeah, that's true.
And you're about to be playing zone instead of man-to-man.
Yeah.
No miniatures.
Too real, dude. I didn't need that. I mean, I'm just sitting here, all excited.
Just trying to prepare you.
Yeah, and now I'm just
Preparation
scared
is key.
I'm just bouncing back and
Look,
forth.
always remember, though, you can go to your office and lock the door.
Yeah.
And
Not really, though.
I mean, you can.
No, I literally can't lock the door. It's a weird, automatic key thing. I don't know how to lock it from the inside.
But you can't get in if you don't have the key.
Well, I can get in. I can't.
No.
It doesn't matter.
Someone can't get in when you're in there if they don't have the key.
No, that's what I'm saying. They can. For some reason, I don't know how to lock the door. They can just open it.
Wait, hold up. Your door can't lock?
I don't think so.
So, you're doing a show, and someone's like, oh, wrong door.
No, I mean, I don't know why anybody would walk in there, but potentially, yes. Yeah, that's just a bit. Sam Layer's Games Workshop miniatures. No, look, I love. I've had plenty of 40K in my life, plenty of Warhammer Fantasy. Right now, though, there's a Lord of the Rings game, Journey to Middle Earth, which is a fantastic game with beautiful miniatures, and I'm just painting those. I want to paint every single one. It's around 30 miniatures. I've nearly got about 20 of the bad guys painted here, so things are looking up in my world. And if you're thinking about why my thighs are so creamy, it's probably some of this, right? An aversion to being outside.
That jersey's cream.
Wanting to watch nerdy stuff all the
Those
time.
Those thighs are white.
Cream of a different color. The jersey's got a little butter mixed in. This is just a little basic heavy whipping cream right here. Throw this in some mashed potatoes and watch me fly. All right, let's close out the show. A little Ask the Bench next.
OTB, OT. In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
Enter now for a chance to win a catch and cook fishing experience from the Louisiana Charter Boat Association with me, Chef Jay Ducote, winner of Beat Bobby Flay. Register now at gocatch.com. That's GEAUX catch.com.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Le posso offrire un caffè? Le posso offrire un caffè? Andiamo insieme da me, non c'è.
Call Mr. Electric today for electrical repairs, upgrades, and installations.
It's no secret. The best oysters in Baton Rouge are at Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar. Enjoy mouth-watering South Louisiana flavor and oysters from all over the country. And don't forget our nightly drink specials. Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar, located in downtown Baton Rouge.
Eli's always been into grilling. It took us a while to see it, but the signs were there.
What are you doing, Eli?
I knew grilling was my thing. I have been talking about it throughout my career.
Happy with the results?
I am. Got the new grill from barbecueguys.com. It performed great.
My advice, as I always told my boys,
do more of what you're born to do.
Barbecue Guys, for those who were born to grill.
You want cheese on your burger, Pops?
I'll take a little cheese.
I'm Jay Ducote. I grew up learning how to cook at LSU tailgate parties and right in my own backyard. And I created JD's Louisiana products to bring that Louisiana flavor to you at home for your backyard cookout. JD's Louisiana barbecue sauce, Louisiana molasses mustard, spicy and sweet barbecue rub, and more are available at your local supermarkets or by logging on to jducote.com/shop. Put in promo code CST for 25% off at checkout.
Crime has serious consequences, but anyone can make a mistake. If you find yourself in trouble with the law, know that you have rights, and it's okay to demand them. The law offices of O.C. Brown are here to protect you and your rights. Felony or misdemeanor, DUI or drug charge. No matter what crime you're accused of, you still have rights. Let the law offices of O.C. Brown uphold them. Call 225-343-1111. Your law firm for a lifetime.
Want more customers? Running Boards Marketing can help you get their attention. Imagine your brand's message on a giant LED billboard truck that can't be skipped and is nearly impossible to ignore. Running Boards Marketing is the leader in effective and affordable advertising on digital mobile billboards, which are 2 times more effective than traditional billboards. With a 97% recall rate, you'll leave a lasting impression with your customers. Visit us online at runningboardsmarketing.com so we can drive your message to where the people are.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644.
Me, Jimmy Ott, for Game Time, live from Snow's Seafood and Steak, Airline Highway at Highway 74 in Gonzales. 6 to 8 p.m. Wednesday. Got a bunch of guests giving out picks. Game Time on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
OTB OT with Hester and T-Bob on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge and 94.7 ESPN Alexandria.
Welcome back. After this, brought to you by Cold Cruise Life. Busy our total light sky. Such a sweet. John Rice says, Vince, Scott guys are reason to make cannibalism a mortal sin even if you're eating people who are dead and someone else killed. I'm confused. Does that mean he does or does not want to eat my thighs?
I don't know.
I do always.
You lost me, cannibal.
I've always been a firm believer that if we were in a cannibalistic situation, I would be in trouble because although I'm the biggest, I look delicious. And so I'd probably get ganged up on. Like, I'm not going to lie.
Mario shaking his head. Yes.
100%, yeah.
My calves, my thighs, my buttocks, it all seems like great eating. Like, I would probably eat me. I'd be so hungry, I'd be like, bro, just slice off a little love hand.
Oh, my God.
Just get a little back fat on there, dude. Let's get a little bacon.
A little back strap.
Get a little Bob bacon, please. I'm so hungry. Can't believe we crashed
All right.
on this island. Ask the bitch. How do you feel about taking Tulane money line? Let's do it for fun.
Yeah.
Just let it ride,
Roll wave.
dude. Why not,
Let's
dude?
go.
Yeah, roll wave, dude. You're not going to go against him, coward.
No.
Hey, I don't want that echo, boys. Take away the second. Ask the bench. For dangerous to read this. For
Are you still echoing? Yep.
Gits and Shiggles, do y'all have a 3-game college football parlay you're willing to share? I do not yet.
That's
I will
like
have bets by tomorrow.
Friday night, Saturday morning for me.
Yeah. Ask the bench, will there be any OTB World Cup viewing parties? Surely we'll get one in somewhere. I mean, I guess it depends on the time of the games. I still don't understand what time of the games.
The afternoon. I'm going to be on off campus, and you're going to be on Snap.
That's just
Most of the group stage. I've already told Bobby, Ben, everybody I host with, like, you're carrying the show that day. I will not be paying attention.
Greg Amon says, do you blame Moscona for peer pressuring you to bet on the Pelicans at Clemson last week? Blink if you need help. Clemson
I can't believe y'all were on Clemson. Like, I didn't hear that.
Well, he was, and then Aaron Murray's picks have been so good on snaps that I was rolling with Aaron more than anything. It was one of his big bets of the week, which it went sideways. So good. And I know. Well, and lesson learned, right? Because I just spent the whole last 2 weeks hating on Clemson. Why then did I back them with my money? That's on me. As far as the Pels go, no, that's a good bet. You know what? That was just a bad beat. Like, that was a good bet that should have hit. It's not a big deal.
Look.
You got to remind you to go to Page Plus urgent care check. You're not feeling well. How are you feeling? You feeling okay?
You got a little November phlegm, if you will.
Yep.
No, actually, I got to take my oldest to Patient Plus today.
Yeah.
Yeah, not at school. I got to take him to Patient Plus today, as soon as I get home.
Thankfully. Probably has a digital profile there already.
He does.
So you walk in, sign in on your phone, you get in, you get better, you get out. Best facilities in the state, filled with the best doctors and nurse practitioners. Go to Patient Plus UC. Go see the Mid-City location for your occupational medicine needs. We love you all so much. Y'all have a great day. Thank you for hanging out with us, and we'll see you tomorrow on a Thursday OTB.
OTB OT.
Want more customers? Running Boards Marketing can help you get their attention. Imagine your brand's message on a giant LED billboard truck that can't be skipped and is nearly impossible to ignore. Running Boards Marketing is the leader in effective and affordable advertising on digital mobile billboards, which are 2 times more effective than traditional billboards. With a 97% recall rate, you'll leave a lasting impression with your customers. Visit us online at runningboardsmarketing.com so we can drive your message to where the people are.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
They said I was small, weak, said my heart wasn't strong enough. But I showed them what heart looked like, again and again and again. Mom got me the right care, the right doctors with Blue Cross coverage. Don't let people tell you who you are. Show them the right card, the right care.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Oh, hey, what's up? It's Big D and Bubba, 100.7 The Tiger Morning Show. We'd love for you to join us every weekday, 4 a.m. till 9 a.m.
Yeah, everything you want in a show. Country music. We got laughs. We got celebrity in-studio guests. We just need you.
Join us every weekday morning, 4 a.m. to 9 a.m., right where it all started.
That's right. Louisiana's country station, 100.7 The Tiger.